The better person for the position. Suck it up.
This is the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, July 19th, and these are some things that are trending this hour. Finland. The House has approved a resolution supporting Finland and Sweden joining NATO. Also trending, Stephen Colbert. Capitol Police confirmed that the group of 9 people associated with the CBS Late Show and Stephen Colbert, who were arrested after they failed to remain with their staff escort while in the Capitol building, will not be prosecuted.
Wait.
You heard me.
Wait, we're not prosecuting insurrection?
No, at least not when your name is Stephen Colbert or you work for the CBS Late Show.
Let's make sure I understand this correctly. A bunch of people who were invited into the Capitol wandered around the Capitol
without their escort,
where they weren't supposed to wander, and nothing's happening to them.
Correct.
How is that any different than the video and photographic evidence of people on January 6th literally being invited into the Capitol by security? What?
How is that different?
Yeah, what's the difference?
There are different people in charge now.
Oh, I see.
Different opinion.
I got you. No, okay, that's
You
fine.
understand?
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something.
No.
Okay.
You get how this works,
Very
right?
good. I mean, there are literally video and photographs of security people telling people,
Come on in.
Right this way. And some of these people have been charged with stuff.
Yeah. Well, when you're associated with Stephen Colbert, it's a different set of rules. Finally trending this hour, the Blue Angels. The Blue Angel Squadron has announced the first female jet pilot.
Oh.
It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC, 8 minutes after 9 o'clock, and a new poll was just released. And this is a GOP poll showing that there is little Hoosier support for a total ban on abortion.
I told you people. And you know, Casey, how I loathe having to sit here on my perch above Monument Circle and tell everybody how right I was.
Yeah, you were right.
But did I not tell you that you would start to see the Indiana Republican Party wiggle, weasel, and worm their way out of some sort of abortion ban? Because there is no way that Eric Holcomb, who is completely beholden to the Indy Chamber, the Indiana Chamber of Commerce, Big Business Incorporated downtown, is going to sign an abortion ban. And when he walked in there and said, I have no red lines, there was no way that was going to happen. And so now our friends over at the Indiana Capitol Chronicle. Now, I will say this. They did not produce the poll in question, but they are claiming that they have heard from multiple people inside the Indiana Republican Party that they have conducted a poll. And what do you know, Casey? Despite the fact of winning election after election after election, supermajorities in the House and Senate, the governor's mansion, all statewide elected offices, and every single one of these people campaigning on being pro-life, what do you know, Casey? A week before the special session, well, now there's a poll that just shows, well, gosh darn it, Casey, people do not support a ban on abortion.
About 48% of respondents said that abortion should be legal in all or most cases, compared to 45% who said the procedure should be illegal in all or most cases.
Now, in fairness, they are citing a previous poll from several years ago that they are working off of. And this is what I'm talking about in this article, and we're working through it because it just came out. The first part of the article talks about, we have this poll that has been done by the Indiana Republican Party. The Republican insiders, as they call them, are speaking under a cloud of not animosity. Well, they may be speaking under a cloud of animosity. Anonymity, thank you. Because it's being very closely guarded by Todd Houston, Speaker of the House, and Rod Bray, the pro tem of the Senate. But this poll that we have conducted shows that there is not support for an abortion ban, and there is some support for abortion at 15 weeks. And then they go on in this article to cite previous polls that have been done in Indiana. So, again, no one inside the Indiana Republican Party was willing to produce the poll, it looks like, to Indiana Capitol Chronicle. But they're certainly willing to rush to the nearest possible cellular telephone to say, well, we've got this poll that shows people are not for the abortion ban. And, well, you know, the fact that we've won election after election after election after election promising to ban abortion. Yeah. I told you this is going to happen. Take it to the bank. They're going to screw you. If you are a pro-life person, You are going to get screwed by the Republicans because you can't campaign and you can't fundraise on an issue if you solve the issue.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC, and let's talk about bobblehead, our favorite bobblehead. Dr. Anthony Fauci has said that he will retire by the end of President Biden's term. Well, that's just a few years too late, isn't it? He's 81 years old. He's been doing this since 1984. First started working with the government under Ronald Reagan. And he said, now they're going to try and come after me anyway. I mean, probably less. So if I'm not in the job, I don't make that a consideration in my career decision. So he's saying that he thinks the Republicans are going to come after him. So he's out.
Sure, right. Think about this. He is the highest paid person in the federal government. He has been there, as you mentioned, since the Reagan administration. Mm-hmm. And he is alluding to the fact that someone is going to come after him. Mm-hmm. Now, what he means by come after him is he can read the tea leaves, and he knows the Democrats are going down their yelling timber. Mm-hmm. And as soon as DeSantis or certainly Trump is in there, he's going to be fired and be dismissed anyway.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of you can't fire me, I quit.
Have you ever worked in a job where the writing was on the wall? You knew you were on the bubble and thought, well, I'm just going to save face. And rather than get fired, I'm out. I'm going to quit. That's what he's doing.
I spent most of my life working in radio, Casey. I worked to get fired. Now, the only job I've ever, I'm trying to think, and I don't want to say this, and I'm sure maybe something when I was younger, obviously I quit jobs in, high school or whatever to go work other jobs. The only job I ever quit and quit gleefully was when I was the pharmacy board director for the state of Indiana.
And you worked for the government.
I could not wait to get the hell out of that place, and I told them exactly what I thought of them while I was there and on my way out the door, and they were just as excited to get rid of me as I was to get rid of them. Mm-hmm. But this is not some act of nobility here. This is a narcissistic egomaniac who has been wrong. And this is what people need to realize about Fauci. He has been wrong about important stuff almost his entire life. One of the major reasons it took so long to get a handle on AIDS and HIV was because Fauci, just like he did with COVID, which has ultimately been proven largely to be ineffective and wrong, was more fixated on a vaccine for AIDS and HIV than he was treatment and therapeutics, despite being told by people around him and leading scientists at the time, this is where you need to go. And he fought that, and look at what happened. Ultimately, we still don't have a vaccine for AIDS and HIV 40 years later, but we are able to, for many people, effectively manage it through what? Treatment and therapeutic. Same thing with COVID. They have been obsessed from day one with vaccine. You still don't have a vaccine that is universally effective or, in many cases, long-term showing any sort of effectiveness. And the guy was wrong again. And yet here he is, this position of uber prominence, despite being wrong. Government is like the only place where you can be wrong on everything. Look at who runs the country. Mm-hmm. Joe Biden.
And he just keeps doing it, though. Keeps plugging away.
Government is the only place where you can be almost universally incorrect on everything and still rise to the highest levels of prominence.
Do you remember the very first weeks of the national lockdown when he was telling us, you don't wear a mask, it doesn't help. And then he completely changed his mind and said, oh, mask up, multiple masks. It depends on which mask you use. And now everybody said, these aren't working. And then the research came out and said, these don't do anything. But look where we are again now with the new variant. There are more communities starting to mask up again. And you know what? School is starting in a couple weeks. And guess what's going to happen? What do you think Fauci's going to say? Who knows? Maybe he'll flip a coin and determine that morning whether we should wear a mask or not.
It's school starting. Elections are right around the corner. There are many things that need to be manipulated, Casey, and time is of the essence.
There are many things, and many people who need to be manipulated. It is Kendall and Casey at 9:16. It's 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Hammer and Nigel.
Air New Zealand may soon be offering beds. It's going to be like a bunk bed.
I've seen the workups of this. It doesn't look very comfortable.
I'm going to be sitting there on that bottom bunk, and I'm going to hear a couple fat people having sex right above my head. This is such a bad idea because I have such little faith in the human race not to do something inappropriate in a bed when given the opportunity.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Pine Grove Medical Clinic. Is erectile dysfunction damaging your relationship? Are you sick of the pill and all the side effects? Well, welcome to the future. We have a major medical breakthrough. Pine Grove Medical Clinic uses the most advanced form of wave therapy. Backed by 60 clinical studies, our technology uses pressure waves to repair and open up blood vessels. We've helped countless men get rid of their ED. But what is the true end result? Their relationship, even their lives, improve drastically. If you're ready to regain your love life, call us right now, and not only will the assessment and ultrasound be free, we'll also give you a gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. It almost never fails. This is worth $550, and it's free to callers right now. 317-552-1111. That's 317-552-1111. Put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and experience what I call the happiness ripple effect. Call Pine Grove Medical Clinic now. 317-552-1111.
Ooh, McDonald's sounds pretty good. Especially since a double cheeseburger and small fry is only $3. That might be the move. Wait, a 6-piece McNuggets and small fry is also just $3? Tempting. But then the Daily Double is just $3 too. Sheesh. I guess good things do come in threes. Except any size Coke. That's only $1. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
At Tire Discounters, we do everything, but not everything.
Thanks for calling Tire Discounters.
Yeah, so do you guys do brakes?
Absolutely.
Shocks and struts?
Yes.
Balloon animals for my kid's party?
Ooh,
All right, oil changes.
bingo.
Astrophysics?
Can you hold, sir? Hey, Brainiac! Do you know astrophysics? Yep. Okay, sir, that's a yes.
How about coolant fluid exchanges?
Of course.
I'm still bummed about those balloon animals, though.
Plus brakes, shocks and struts, alignment, and more.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 38,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
5X480. Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching, but a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
That guy's brain is a bag full of cats. It could smell crazy on him.
And Casey Daniels.
If she were a president, she'd be Abraham Lincoln.
On 93 WIBC.
So we were net oil producers, oil exporters, and now we go to other countries begging them for oil. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. The average price of gas right now in Indiana, $4.49. Yes, it has gone down, but I'd like to remind you, it's still $2 more expensive than it was a year ago at this time.
Oh, forgot to turn my microphone on. I've only been doing this for 20 years. By the way, hello to everybody watching us in the YouTube chat. If you'd like to watch us, because we are very beautiful people, you can do that via YouTube. Just head over to YouTube and your little browser bar there, put Kendall and Casey, WIBC. Or if you're a person who fears YouTube for who knows what reason, you can also watch us via the WIBC Facebook page or the WIBC Twitter feed. So all different ways you can watch the program.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so think about this, Casey. You have failed horrifically at your job, but you're not failing quite as bad as you were a couple months ago. The company is still in far worse position than it was when you took over. But your selling point to the people is, yeah, but I'm not as bad as I was a couple months ago. And I gotta hand it to Karine Jean-Pierre, who is the spokeswoman for the White House. While being one of the dumbest people alive, she will not get off that it is everyone else's fault but her bosses. And that is loyalty to a fault. It is Putin's fault. It is now it's again the pandemic's fault.
We're back to that.
Which is weird because during the pandemic, I remember gas being super cheap. I was one of 7 people driving on the road every day.
Right.
His Holiness High Tax Holcomb gave me permission to drive to work as a highly experienced, valuable radio broadcaster. And I remember gas being super cheap. But Karine Jean-Pierre, she is staying with it. Take a listen.
We have seen gas prices go down in the past 34 straight days.
Aren't they still
go down
$2 a gallon higher than when you guys took office, though?
First of all, we have to look at the impact of how we got there, right? You think about the war that Russia has taken on in Ukraine, an unmitigated war, and a war that is brutal and that has had an effect on the price gases going up, almost $2. We have talked about that endlessly. And also, we are also in a once-in-a-generation pandemic. So there are outside factors that has led to gas prices going up.
She never answered the question, by the way.
No.
She just went back and repeated history.
No, she never does. And again, if somebody's going to have to correct me, I thought gas was really cheap during the pandemic, but apparently now we're back in the pandemic. And my memory must not be what it once was because gas is really expensive now, but it's the pandemic's fault. Can I play this clip? Can we play this clip? Because you know how I love the random, confused, likely accidental acts of journalism. But Biden's top economic advisor was asked why, and we've asked this question before. When gas prices go up,
it's Putin's fault.
Right? He is Jake Blues and the Blues Brothers with Carrie Fisher under the bridge screaming all the reasons it's not his fault. But then when gas prices go down,
right,
he gets credit for them going down. So go up, not my fault. Go down,
take credit.
Take credit.
Yeah.
Take a listen.
Having it both ways, Jared, because when the gas prices go up, it's got nothing to do with the president. When we see some decline, you want him to get the credit.
Look, I think that there's no both way thinking here at all.
Wait, what?
Casey, I can't.
Hey, you know what? If our ratings go down, it's your fault.
Yes.
If they go up, I get the credit.
Oh,
okay,
perfect.
That's the way this is going to work,
Fabulous.
right? That's the way they do it.
Well,
so,
but again, it comes back to 81 million legal votes, which is what the certifiers have told us the president of the United States received. And because we're now on both FM airwaves and various social media accounts that are somewhat cognizant of what you say related to the election, I will now transition to my phraseology that I will use for social media.
Bean counter?
We are told, yes, that there were 81 million legal jelly beans counted in November of 2020. And yet the country is in the position it's in. The polling is what it is, which we'll get to in a little bit. And these are the answers we get from people. And we are led to believe that the American society said 81 million legal jelly beans went for this.
Yeah. Speaking of polling, there's new signs of support for Ron DeSantis.
Oh, we love that.
Even more. And also a little montage coming up of why people would be transitioning from Trump to DeSantis.
Oh, people get very mad when we do it. So somebody else is. Somebody else has asked these questions.
Yes,
oh,
somebody else has asked these questions, and we'll get some answers on it coming up from 93 WIBC.
Hey, this is Lisa Stofan. Heard the Mark Patrick weight loss hypnosis hype? Well, I attended because my father stopped smoking with hypnosis. Hypnosis eliminated my desire for soda and fast food, made me want to exercise, and I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My energy level exploded. I went to another session to deal with some other problem foods, and I lost another 10 pounds. In fact, I brought my husband. He lost weight. More important, cholesterol and blood pressure improved. My friend went, and she lost 20 pounds in the first 2 months. So does Mark Patrick hypnosis work? Oh yeah, it works. Nothing has changed my life more. Well, except maybe my husband. He's so proud of me. Makes me cry.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed for only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings. July 28th at the Hampton Inn and Suites in Fishers. Weight loss seminar 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 to 10 p.m. And Saturday, July 30th at the La Quinta Inn and Suites South in Indianapolis. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 to 4 p.m. Registration begins 30 minutes before seminar. The reality of owning property is that it can sometimes become a burden. Maybe you own a vacant, condemned, or foreclosed property. Maybe you need to move fast for work or a family emergency. Perhaps you inherited a home, got a divorce, or just can't maintain the home you currently have. Getting free of that burden with cash in hand is easier than you think. Enhanced Property Solutions makes it simple for you to sell your property fast for cash on the date you pick. Any condition. No realtors, no fees, no hassles. EnhancedPropertySolutions.com or call 317-676-2050.
Now with Xfinity, you'll get unlimited internet with gig speed and supersonic Wi-Fi. With a 2-year internet rate guarantee, no annual contract required, and no equipment fees. Talk about knock your socks off. Ooh, plus a free Flex 4K streaming box. It's like hitting the streaming jackpot. It's all just $50 a month when you add Xfinity Mobile. $50 a month. A price that's truly jaw-dropping.
Oh, literally.
The speed you need at a price you want. Value that's simply bananas. That's the new Xfinity Supersonic Bundle. It's kind of a big deal. Go to Xfinity.com/gig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store to learn more.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. New gigabit internet customers only. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
Why? Just think about it. Why is the #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers to blowers. And you'll find service from experienced professionals. Real Steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local steel dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Just 3 words. Made in America. Real Steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. The majority of steel products sold in America are made in America of U.S. and foreign materials. Batteries and chargers are sourced internationally.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Telling the school district what's what. Sunny and 77 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:30. Hundreds of angry community members and dozens of heartbroken parents tore into the Uvalde, Texas school board Monday night.
No more good old boy system here. Times changed. And you know what? Your schools, they suck. They're not secure. and we're not sending our kids back.
They called for the superintendent to be fired and for school board members to resign nearly 2 months after 19 children and 2 teachers were killed in a mass shooting at Robb Elementary School. The Texas State Police are doing an internal investigation into the police response to the shooting. The Major League Baseball All-Star Game is set for tonight at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, and a new wrinkle could decide the outcome. The league has announced that if the game is tied after 9 innings, it'll be settled by a home run derby and not by extra innings. First pitch from LA is set for 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. And now the stock report, another good start to the day. The Dow is up 269 to 31,316. The Nasdaq is up 138 to 12,045, and the S&P 500 is up 41.5 to 3,875. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
QC Kinetics patient Robert Patterson, a veteran and business owner, struggled at work and in the gym with chronic agonizing shoulder pain.
Those injuries just continue to nag, and if you don't treat them, they just get worse. And I just kind of abused my body for a long time, and it finally had said enough is enough.
That's okay, because QC Kinetics tells your pain, hey, enough is enough. Their regenerative treatments bring you relief by helping restore and repair damaged tissue with no drugs, no downtime, and best of all, no surgery.
I was able to exceed the goals that I had previously attained in the gym. It was absolutely worth its weight in gold, so I could continue to live life without limitation.
Ready to get lasting relief from your joint pain? Call QC Kinetics to learn more about how natural biologic treatments can get you lasting results. Call now. It's a free consultation.
463-235-7160. In Eagle Creek and Greenwood. 463-235-7160.
When the weather turns severe, turn to the WIBC Storm Desk, presented by Technology Recyclers, business electronics recycling. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
He asked for time and space before being contacted by the press. He is cooperating with officers on the investigation, and now the Good Samaritan is being repped by WIBC's Guy Relford. Of course, we're talking about what happened in Greenwood on Sunday night. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. And are you ready to talk about this?
Well, yes. And before we do that, I want to say hello to everybody watching on the YouTube feed. Don't forget you can watch us as well. Just put in Kendall and Casey WIBC on your YouTube browser, and you can view us. So hello to everyone doing that. We do see your comments as well, and we appreciate those. So obviously, we had a show yesterday, and that was, within 24 hours of that event happening. And we didn't really get into it a whole lot yesterday on this show. Other shows did, and that's great. And I think that's one of the great things about WIBC is every show you're going to hear something a little different. And some people would ask, well, why didn't you deal with it? And I said, well, one, to me, yesterday, until more information came out, it was still a news event. There still is no known motive that I'm aware of. We didn't know the names, not that we give the names anyway of the suspects in these cases, et cetera, because we don't want to give them publicity. But there was just so much that was unknown. In our business, having a take, you need information. Having an opinion, you need information. Obviously, it appeared, and it's ultimately, I believe, proven out to be true, that this was a hero that saved a whole bunch of lives, but you still just didn't know everything definitively, and you don't want to go out there and go, wow, this is the greatest guy that ever lived.
Yeah, it wasn't until yesterday afternoon that I learned that the shooter not only had the gun on his person, but he left one in the bathroom. He also had a handgun with him. He was recently evicted from his apartment. I mean, all of these details started coming out.
And so in our world on this show, we kind of take the approach. It's the same way as why we didn't get into this, the 10-year-old girl getting the abortion, the doctor issue like other people did. It wasn't our information. The information wasn't abundantly clear. And so until it is, either unless it's my information, your information, or the information is abundantly clear without dispute, you can stay on the peripheral of it, talk about it in broad generalities, but if you're going to dive into it, you really got to have the info. So now I feel like we have enough info that we can kind of have a more nuanced conversation about this. And look, the guy's clearly a hero. throw a parade for him in the, city of Greenwood, name a street after him, Sagamore the Wabash, all the honors that should be, bestowed upon this young man who saved many, many lives. But I thought there were two questions that I now have that came out of this. And I thought one of them you are really uniquely qualified to answer. Matt Hiblin, our executive producer, and I were talking about this yesterday. You are just a couple years removed from having a teenage daughter. She is 20. She's about to be 21. She's in college. She is a grown-ass woman now by societal standards. But it wasn't that long ago that she was a teenager in high school.
Right.
And so my question to you, as someone who is just removed from that, would you be comfortable now, given what seems to be an increase in violence in public places, would you be comfortable dropping your teenage kid off at a mall, a movie theater, etc.?
Any crowded space? Yes and no. And I know.
Are you an attorney?
Well, it's one of those things where, yes, you're nervous. These thoughts do cross my mind. Beginning of the summer, she went to Cedar Point, and it entered my mind. That's a place with a lot of people.
Right.
And anything could happen. And as a parent, you're always kind of nervous about that, especially when you're dropping someone off and letting them go do their thing.
Yes.
So, yes, it would make me nervous. But on the other side, no, because you can't live in fear all the time.
Yeah.
It's, Shawshank Redemption. Get busy living or get busy dying. You can't just hole up in your basement and hope it all goes away. You have to continue to live your life.
Because I think there's a lot of parents now who are beginning to think twice about, let's say your child says, hey, I want to go, and it's probably more prevalent, the second thoughts in major metropolitan areas. I want to go to the 8 p.m. movie at, a crowded movie theater. Certainly, obviously, who before Sunday would have thought, wow, you really shouldn't go to the Greenwood Mall. And so I think there are a lot of parents now with teenage kids who are beginning to have those second thoughts maybe they didn't have before. And should I allow my kid to go to these things, which sucks because it comes back to what we talked about with COVID. The lockdowns, the shutdowns, the mandates destroyed integral parts of teenagers' formative, important years, especially as it relates to socialization. And this is another aspect of that you need to interact with your friends in many ways and many times outside of the watchful eye of your parents. Now, I'm not saying should you just allow your teenage kid at 3 a.m. to be running around downtown Indianapolis. No, but I think there's some merit to saying if your kid is taught right, is taught not to talk to strangers, not engage with people, etc., that at 15, 16, 17 years old, I can leave you in a public place with your friends for an hour and come back and pick you up. I think there's merit to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and there's also, when you drop them off now, I feel like, and as a mom, you'd always do that. I love you. Have fun. Be careful.
Right.
But now the I love you, be careful, it feels like it means more.
Right.
And you're more cognizant to say it.
Well, and we talked about this before in various other topics, but, when I was a kid, my parents instilled in me all the ground rules, right? And as long as you followed the ground rules, I was given a lot of freedom to be able to do stuff. I walked to and from school. I had friends who lived around the block from me who I would go play at their house after I got my schoolwork done until the sun set, and then I would walk home. But my parents knew that I knew the rules, and it was a different game 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
Right.
Don't talk to strangers. No one's ever going to pull up next to you and say, get in the car. Your mom and dad need you. There's only 4 people that will ever do this. It'll be, in the case of my dad talking to me, your mother, or your grandparents. So the rules were ironclad, and I always followed the rules, and they didn't have to worry about that. I'm not sure you'd let your kid just go stroll, even in a community like Brownsburg, because of the growth of Brownsburg, the size of the town now, et cetera. I'm not sure that you would just let your kid stroll down to the end of the block and go play and come back a lot of time when you know when to be back.
Well, I think something else you need to consider, Rob, that I was a child of the 80s. I came of age in the 80s, and the mall was everything.
Yes.
I mean, Tiffany, Debbie Gibson, mall rats, it was everything. I think the importance of the mall is going away. So totally different.
Right.
And even different from what you experienced in high school. These kids now, they have active shooter drills. There's not just the tornado drill or, other drills they do, the fire drill, the active shooter drill. And I'm kind of curious, this Good Samaritan, Elijah Dickin, he's 22 years old.
Yeah.
He's not that far removed from high school either. He probably had active shooter drills when he was in school. And did that help him recognize the situation quicker?
That's a great question. And I wanted to get to the second question that I have for you, which is much is being made. Only in America in 2022 could a guy save a whole bunch of lives and people have questions or concerns about what took place. And in this case, this thing about the mall being a gun-free zone, which clearly the state law recently passed that allowed this guy without question of any sort to carry his firearm in a lawful manner in there, despite what the sign said, and save these lives. The question has to be now, will Simon Properties and these other businesses, et cetera, who proudly display these gun-free zones as though they're because the Greenwood Park Mall is it a Simon property? Is that right? Yeah, it is. I didn't mean to misspeak there. But all of these businesses who proudly display these gun-free zones. Remember with the mayor of Zionsville, what kickstarted that and her profanity-laced tirade was the guy posted, wow, this is a gun-free zone in my store. Like you're some sort of...
Oh, in that case.
I
saw the sign.
Like you're some way saving society because you're a gun-free zone. Will we now admit that the gun-free zone thing doesn't stop anyone? It only mind manipulates law-abiding people who might otherwise carry to not carry. Clearly, this person who was hell-bent on violence that day didn't care about the sign. And the only reason a lot more people didn't die is because we passed a law that allowed this kid to carry his firearm in a lawful manner to save a bunch of lives. Are these malls, these other businesses that put these signs up, are they now ready to admit that doesn't work, that doesn't stop the actual bad guy, and we're only preventing good people from carrying guns?
Yeah. Last time I checked, Simon Properties had no comment.
Oh, well, there you go.
Maybe they're still thinking about it.
Maybe a thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like if you are prepared to say anything to this kid other than thanks, you got a serious issue.
Yeah. It is Kendall and Casey. You're listening to 93 WIBC.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Soaking in a hot tub full of Epsom salts is the absolute best way to minimize everyday aches and pains. And we know all about Epsom salts at Royal Spa. Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs on the market that can safely and effectively use Epsom salts. Made right here in Indiana, Royal Spa hot tubs are the highest quality hot tubs on the market. Visit any one of our 3 Indianapolis locations or visit royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa. How much money have you lost in the stock market? You know, there's a way you could stop the bleeding and potentially make up for some of those devastating losses. It's Terry Stacy. Learn how you could get a competitive return on your money right now and receive a 5, 10, or as much as a 35% initial bonus on your investment. That's right. And you'll sleep well knowing your money is protected by some of the top-rated insurance companies in the world. To learn more, call Bill Demery, my retirement guy, at 317-349-5212. Get a competitive return on your investment that beats the bank and receive a 5, 10, or as much as a 35% bonus on your investment. To learn more, call Bill Demery at 317-349-5212. That's 317-349-5212.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Only $49.99 guaranteed.
Also, let Mark Patrick Hypnosis destroy unwanted food cravings and lose the weight. Seminars Thursday, July 28th at the Hampton Inn and Suites in Fishers. Weight loss seminar 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 to 10 p.m. And Saturday, July 30th at the La Quinta Inn and Suites South in Indianapolis. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 to 4 p.m. Registration begins 30 minutes before seminar.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
5X480. Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching, but a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
MVP's bonus days are here for pros. For 12 days, pros save big and MVPs get even more. Because MVP's Pro Rewards members can earn bonus points to redeem for rewards. Earn points on every dollar spent up to $1,000 and get up to 3 times more points when you shop select brands and products. Find MVP's bonus day savings from July 11th to the 22nd in-store and online. Exclusively at Lowe's. Exclusively for pros. MVP's Pro Rewards program subject to program terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/L/pro loyalty terms. Subject to change.
According to recent polls, Ron DeSantis is currently seeing increasingly optimistic signs of support for a presidential run in 2024. Now, neither Trump nor DeSantis have publicly stated that they're running for president.
Yeah. It's really in the dark at this point.
I wonder. I'm curious if it'll happen. But Fox News did a thing, and they have a montage of people who used to support Trump but now are moving towards DeSantis.
And I wanted to play this because few things on this show spark reliable interaction from the audience than when we do the thing about why we think Trump should not run for president again. And people get very, very upset when we say these things because, look, there's a lot of people who loved Donald Trump. They thought he did a phenomenal job as president. Mm-hmm. And they believe creative jelly bean counting in November of 2020 cost him another 4 years of the presidency. And all of those things are totally understandable. But the reality is you can either continue to live in the past and relitigate the past, or you can effectively use the past to maneuver forward. And the fact is that Donald Trump has not shown a willingness to do the things necessary in which a huge swath of people who did not vote for him, despite liking his policies, mm-hmm. that he has won any of those people over. And so people want to think it's some sort of Kendall and Casey conspiracy, or when it was Mock and Rob before that. No, it's just reality. And you can put your head in the sand and live in your own self-righteousness, or you can accept the fact that there's a lot of people out there that we are relaying a message that we hear mm-hmm. from a lot of people. And so this montage I thought was great. It's regular people that they're stopping on the street. Mm-hmm. The first part is them talking about the issues they had with Trump. These are people who voted for Trump before. Mm-hmm. They're talking about why they are not or are hesitant to support him. And they're saying the things we say in the sense of, look, if Trump is the nominee, 100% we're on Team Trump. If Donald Trump wins the Republican nominee for president, hey, all hands on deck, let's go storm the Bastille charge. Mm-hmm. But we believe that you are making an egregious mistake if you go down that path. And these people, regular people, mm-hmm. spell out the same thing. So I wanted to play it because I thought it'd be it's about 2 minutes, which is a little longer than the audio we normally play. But I thought it was great for regular people to articulate many of the things we have been saying. Take a listen.
I don't want him to. I like what he stands for. I like what he does, but He upset too many people, and he upset them really bad. So I don't think he's good for the party.
He needs to get back in. He already had gained that respect from all the world leaders and finish what he, started.
It's too bad that he did what he did do and was fought the whole way along on darn near everything that he did, but that's what happened. So I'd like to see him not run.
If he did, I would vote for him, but I would not recommend he runs. I voted for Trump both times, and I love him. I think he was a good candidate, but I think his time has passed.
I couldn't care less about President Trump personally. I prefer somebody different, but if he is the nominee, I'll probably vote for him.
You know what? I voted for him for my very first time I voted for him. I don't think it'll be best for our country for him to run for re-election. I'm thankful for everything that he's done, but I think that our Republican Party needs to be united.
At this point, he's a little too polarizing, and I think that there are candidates out there, Republican candidates obviously, that maybe be able to pull in people that he would lose to be able to change this.
I would like to see, Governor DeSantis or someone like that, some new blood in the race.
DeSantis run for president, and if he wants to, then he can pick up Donald as the vice president.
We're from Florida. We're big fans of DeSantis on this one. He seems to be much more common sense and able to communicate better to both sides to get those people back that switch.
He's done a good job at everything he's tried to do, despite all, it's not all just what he says. It doesn't just happen like that. I believe he's done a good job with a lot of things, and that's just my personal beliefs.
I really like DeSantis. Because I think he can unify the party, and I think he's a fighter and a leader, and we need both.
Isn't it like a no-nonsense kind of guy, kind of like Trump is?
All right, that's good. You get the idea. And by the way, I love it. It's happening in the YouTube chat right now. I'm out of here.
Oh, really?
I'm not listening to this anymore. Again, this is why we play this. Even of course, Fox News would do that. Let me look at those, because you'll be back, because they always come back. But to those of you in the YouTube chat, we're not telling you this because it's fun. We're telling you this because it's real. Donald Trump had a lot of really good policies. He did a lot of nice things, certainly pre-COVID. But he is a lunatic. He is an undisciplined lunatic. And his lack of personal discipline alienates millions of people who will otherwise vote for a conservative. And it's not like we're advocating for Chris Christie or Mike Pence or Hogan, the governor of Maryland. I want to say Hulk Hogan. We're not advocating for that. We're advocating for a rock-solid, reliable conservative who is actually way more conservative than Trump. And if you want to just stick your head in the sand and be noble in your righteousness and lose, then that's on you, but please don't take us down with you.
A recent poll was conducted by the University of New Hampshire, and they found that Republican primary voters were more likely to back DeSantis than Trump in a head-to-head against Biden. And, Rob, I lived in Florida.
Yeah,
I lived there.
You saw it firsthand.
I did. I lived in Tallahassee, right down the road from the governor's mansion. And it was the first days of the pandemic when I was there. And one thing that I will tell you about Ron DeSantis, he kept the state open, and it was so polarizing compared to Indiana.
Yeah, and you got to remember, look, Trump was part of Bribe-a-palooza. If we rip on Todd Young for it, we rip on Trump for it. We rip on Bernie Sanders for it. They were all in cahoots together for Bribe-a-palooza, all this unaccountable federal money that is now the primary driver of inflation. Trump signed it into law. We are fair on this show. Trump did a lot of good things pre-COVID. He handled COVID about as bad as you could possibly handle COVID from a liberty and freedom perspective. Mm-hmm. And again, if you want to vote for Trump in a primary, he's going to run. Not only is he going to run, he'll probably win. Mm-hmm. He starts with a gigantic lead. Certainly if DeSantis doesn't run, it's his to lose. We will vote for Trump if he's the nominee, but you are setting yourself up for another big round of disappointment.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Good morning.
The Great Resignation is a new and demanding challenge for employers. Beyond recruiting and retaining talented employees, you must understand their changing needs for personalized, non-traditional employee benefits. If you approach and deliver your benefit program as you did a decade ago, McGowan Brabender can help. We are reimagining the employee benefit journey to meet this challenge. It's time to thrive, not just survive. Contact McGowan Brabender to learn more.
Interest rate hikes are slowing home price growth, but you can still get top dollar for your home right now with Mark Dietel. Maybe you are worried you missed the boat on selling for maximum price. Mark guarantees multiple offers on your home in 3 days or it's listed for free. Get maximum convenience and maximum sales price. Listen to what Randy in Indianapolis had to say about working with Mark Dietel. I had a rental property I was ready to sell to cash out in our hot market. Selling fast was good, but more importantly, I was looking to sell for top dollar. Mark Dietel delivered both. I got 20 offers and sold for $15,000 over high asking in a few weeks. Mark is the guy to get you the best price in Indianapolis. Call the agent I recommend and trust. Mark Dietel guarantees multiple offers in 3 days for full market value or it's listed for free. Call Mark Dietel, 317-755-4232, or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Old National Bank is asking everyone to get old. But first, people have questions.
Will it take me years to get old?
No, getting old can literally happen in minutes.
Is getting old like a complicated process?
Not at all. Just stop into one of our banking centers or visit our website. We even have an app for that.
Will I look any different after I get old?
You may look happier and more relaxed with a banking partner like us.
Definitely want to get old.
Introducing Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Old National Bank. Get old. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, it's Hammer and Nigel, and you can beat the heat with Window Nation. Get $200 off any style new window and pay no interest until 2024. Plus, get a free entry door with the purchase of a house of windows. Call 866-90-NATION or go online at windownation.com.
Set up a free in-home consultation and you can lock in this amazing offer for 6 months. Window Nation will show you how over 1 million of their expertly installed, money-saving, double pane, Energy Star efficient windows are already rewarding and cooling families in over 150,000 homes. Take advantage of this very cool offer while it lasts. For a limited time, you'll save $200 on every window and save more with no interest until 2024. Plus, receive a free entry door with the purchase of a house of windows. But you have to call right now, 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Some things sound so good you can almost taste it. Like Bluebell Strawberry Lemonade Ice Cream. Delicious strawberry ice cream swirled with lemonade sherbet and sprinkled with lemon-flavored flakes. It's better than you can imagine.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at all Safeway Foods and Harvest supermarkets.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Chris Davis reports on who the man was who stopped the shooter at Greenwood Park Mall. Plus, charges filed in the case of a missing woman from Kokomo. All that and more coming up from the Shepherd Community Center studios after Fox News Radio at the top of the hour. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
It's hot out there. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, especially way out there in Europe.
This is a good
call for all of us that there is a need to tackle the causes of climate change.
World Health Organization Dr. Maria Neira, a heat wave is blamed for hundreds of deaths in Portugal and Spain. It's the hottest day on record in Britain, over 104 degrees.
The sweltering high temps are causing disruptions in schools, healthcare, and travel. London streets are seeing less traffic, with trains running slower due to concerns that rails could buckle. Many public buildings there don't have air conditioning.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. It's also a hot summer day for a lot of Americans. Excessive heat warnings in many states from Southern California to Tennessee. It could hit 112 in parts of Texas. In Uvalde, parents spoke out last night at a school board hearing, angry over the report showing multiple failures in the May school massacre, including a law enforcement response.
Not one was man enough to go in there. 77 minutes. 77 minutes.
That's how long the gunman was in the school before he was finally shot and killed. Jury selection continues today for Steve Bannon's trial. The ex-White House advisor is charged with contempt of Congress for not cooperating with a Democrat-led probe into the Capitol riot. The next public hearing is Thursday.
Looking at what former President Trump did and did not do on January 6th as rioters tried to take over Capitol Hill. AP reports sources say former Deputy National Security Advisor Matthew Pottinger and former press aide Sarah Matthews will be testifying. Both resigned immediately after the violence broke out.
Fox's Jill Nato. There may finally be an answer to what killed 21 teenagers found dead in a bar in South Africa last month. Investigators have found methanol in all their bodies, a toxic form of alcohol, an industrial solvent. How they ingested it or if it killed them isn't yet known. Other possible causes have been ruled out, like drinking too much or carbon monoxide. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Who he was. Sunny and 79 downtown. I'm Kurt Darling for Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 10:02. The man who shot and killed the Greenwood Park Mall shooter was Elijah Dickon of Seymour.
The shooter fired several rounds, striking the suspect. The suspect attempted to retreat back into the restroom and fell to the ground after being shot.
Greenwood Police Chief Jim Eisen describing what happened just 2 minutes after Jonathan Sapiriman, a 20-year-old man from Greenwood, began shooting people as he came out of the restroom near the mall food court just before 6 o'clock Sunday evening. He killed 3 people before he himself was killed. A toddler killed in a hit-and-run crash Monday evening. It was along 82nd Street between Allisonville Road and Dean Road on the north side. And police have no description of the vehicle that hit the child. A man in Kokomo facing charges of murder. Harrison Silcox explains why.
Karina McClurkin, an 18-year-old woman, has been missing for nearly 6 years, last seen at a home near downtown Indianapolis. Kokomo police and state troopers worked together to retrace what happened before she went missing. That information was handed over to the Howard County Prosecutor's Office, which led to an arrest warrant being issued for Flint Farmer, a 57-year-old from Kokomo. He was arrested Monday and faces a charge of murder. Police say more arrests could follow. Harrison Silcox, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Gas prices are going down in Indiana, but not as much as they should be, says Gas Buddy's Patrick DeHaan.
Indianapolis has been extremely slow to lower their prices, kind of surprising, given the amount of competition we tend to see.
The average throughout the whole state is $4.56 today for unleaded. DeHaan says the war in Ukraine is also no longer an active factor in the price of gas, contrary to what the White House has kept saying. The Indianapolis Colts are getting ready for training camp. Rookies are scheduled to report to camp on Saturday, and then veteran players are slated to arrive next Tuesday. The first practice that's open to the public will be the next day. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Tony Katz for Moss Roofing, MOSS, mossroofing.com, the family-owned business in its second generation of taking care of the roofs of Indianapolis and all over central Indiana. They do full roof replacements, residential or commercial. You've got storm damage, you talk to Moss Roofing. And their financing, they've got a plan that works for everybody's budget. So yes, now is the time to get that roof taken care of. And if you need siding, they work with James Hardy Siding. We're talking about the low maintenance, fully painted, 15-year warranty on the finish, James Hardy Siding. When you go to sell your home, your house is going to be worth more money because you will have increased the value with James Hardy Siding. And it holds up better in the Indianapolis weather. Talk to the family at Moss Roofing today. 317-784-3227. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 784-3227. 784-3227 or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
The Republican Party in Indiana sees zero problem in record spending, in record taxation.
And Casey Daniels.
You went out there and said, please vote for me. You debated other people on why you're the better person for the position. Suck it up.
This is the Kendall and Casey Show on 93. WIBC.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, July 19th, and some things that are trending this hour. Record-breaking heat waves prompting wildfires and multiple deaths across Europe. Also trending, Nikki Haley. She is teasing a White House run while simultaneously slamming Biden on Iran. And finally trending is Limp Bizkit. They have postponed some remaining tour dates amid unexpected news about Fred Durst's health. It is 6 minutes after 10. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hey, real quick before you get into the top of the hour, if somebody had asked you Limp Bizkit's still together or not, could you have got, because you've been in music radio for years, would you have got that right? Still together or not?
Yeah,
I would have said they are no longer a thing.
No, they're a thing.
Are they a big? Kevin, you're on the music scene. Is Limp Bizkit still a big thing?
I've never been a Limp Bizkit fan, so I have no idea.
Well, I mean, I'm not an Adele fan, but like I know Adele is a thing. Like if Adele were to play whatever it's Gainbridge Fieldhouse, I would say okay, that's going to sell out. Like could Limp Bizkit sell out? I don't know, the Mirage. Are they that big of a thing still?
Maybe the Mirage.
Yeah, I think they could do that.
Yeah.
Could they? But
not Cambridge.
They could not do Cambridge.
No,
they couldn't do Klipsch or Ruoff or whatever it is now.
No. Maybe with a couple other bands in the lineup. You know, if it were a festival.
Yeah. All right.
Possibly, but not alone.
I didn't mean to disrupt or derail the conversation. I would have not.
You didn't know that surprised you.
I would have not got that right. I would not have. No.
Okay.
No. By the way, hello to everybody watching us in the YouTube chat. Just type in Kendall and Casey, WIBC in your YouTube browser. You can watch us have this very fabulous conversation.
Yeah, it's also on Facebook and Twitter. And by the way, if you're over there on YouTube, let's just do a little social experiment. Hit that like button.
Oh, yeah. That's right. We're supposed to ask people to like us.
Hit that like button. Let's go to Biden's top economic advisor, shall we? He was recently asked why people should listen to anything they have to say when they got it so wrong about inflation.
So think about in your life, whatever company you work for, or if you own your own business. In your boss, or if you are the boss, think about your employees. The confidence that someone has in you is based around your ability to, on a consistent basis, provide accurate assessment, right? That's how you move up, they're saying up the corporate ladder. Fred is a hard worker. Fred has been given these tasks. Fred has consistently succeeded at these tasks. And as you move up the management chain, forecasting is a big part of management. Comes back to what we talked about earlier. Government is the only place that you can rise to the top of the scale. Now, again, we're not talking about rank and file government workers. There's tons of phenomenal, hardworking, great government workers. I'm talking about the management. I'm talking about the elected positions. I'm talking about the department, the cabinet level, et cetera, in which you can be wrong much more than you are right.
And still keep your job.
And so, again, random, confused, accidental act of journalism taking place. This economic advisor for Biden got asked this question. Hey, you've been wrong about everything. Why should we listen to you now? Because they're trying to, it's not that bad. Things are getting better. The gas prices are going down. And I just love that his answer was, it doesn't matter. Don't pay attention to the past. Just listen to us now. Take a listen.
I'm wondering how much faith can the American public put in future White House assessments about the economy, about inflation, after they saw that inflation number increase month after month and before the Russian invasion?
Well, let me say two things. First of all, I tried to answer as fulsomely as I could some of that part of that question earlier. But let me ask you to focus on what we're trying to talk about today, which is something that is happening in the here and now. The charts.
The here and now. This is the here and now. Right now. Inflation is at 9.1%.
If someone starts out an answer with, let me ask you to, cut them off. Because whatever they're about to ask you to, if they have to tell you, I'm asking you, that means they are 100% deflecting from something else.
He's completely trying to change the direction of the conversation. He doesn't want to answer that question. Let's focus on the here and now. The here and now, like I mentioned, inflation is at 9.1%. I did want to share something with you in regards to this. Goldman Sachs CEO, which is an investment banking firm, said, I expect there's going to be more volatility and there's going to be more uncertainty. And in light of the current environment, we will manage all of our resources cautiously.
Yeah.
This is from one of the biggest banks in the world. Yeah. And they're saying, we're going to be cautious. He said he believes inflation is now entrenched in the economy. It's just part of it. It's the way of life now. And it may not come down in the second half of the year. So the CEO of one of the largest banks in the world is now saying, disinflation, we're looking to 2023.
And that shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. And this is why, again, people, well, you're too mean to these people and you hit them too hard and you need to get off it. You need to move on to something else. No, this is why I am the way that I am to people like Todd Young. The colossal damage the United States Congress did in 2020 to society, to the world, and to our economy. We will still be paying for it 3 years down the road. Don't I have a right to be mean to people who have screwed up my existence for 3 years? What am I supposed to go, oh, that's fine, everybody makes mistakes? No. You wanted to be a senator in the case of Todd Young, or you wanted to be a congressman in the case of Jim Baird or the cavalcade of other Indiana underachievers who voted to print all this money. You guys signed up for this. You get the perks, you get the transportation, you get the big salary, you get the benefits, you get the red carpet treatment wherever you go. And with that should come the responsibility to get it right. And when you don't, there should be hell to pay.
He's Rob Kendall. My name is Casey Daniels. And I had no idea that one day we would be missing Jen Psaki, the former White House press secretary. And I was actually shocked, Rob, that we're going to Karine Jean-Pierre again a couple times during the show today.
You're in used to be in the music industry. What do they call that? Double shock power?
She's in high rotation today. She's number one with a bullet. She was recently asked about Saudi Arabia, and this is what she had to say.
Does the president, now that he's back from Saudi Arabia, does the president still believe that Saudi Arabia and the Crown Prince should be considered a pariah, or did this trip change his view about that?
So, as you heard from the president again on Friday, he made very clear that he made his views very clear to the Crown Prince on that during that bilat meeting, and he even said it would be inconsistent, right, for a president of the United States not to speak of our values, not to talk about human rights, and it would be inconsistent, to be quite frank, of Joe Biden not to do that. So he was very clear about where he stood about Jamal Khashoggi's death, murder. He mentioned it from the start of their meeting, and when it comes to his comments stand. He has been pretty clear about that, about where he stands on the comments that he made during the campaign.
I have a headache now.
So
her audio clips, really, we should only play them with a warning label. We need a warning.
If I'm going to be lied to, I need it to be well done. And she sucks at lying. She's horrific.
Yeah. Let's not go to her for the rest of the show.
Perfect.
Can we do that?
I think we can make that. I think we can come to that agreement.
Okay. We've got one last thing for you, and this is Biden's assistant health secretary calling for the empowering of kids.
So this is a man who now fancies himself a woman who believes it is empowering children. Now, we're mean to the Republicans because they deserve to be mean to. But even the Republicans, as bad as they are, pale in comparison to saying that it is empowering children to get puberty blockers and sex reassignment surgeries. These people that are running our government right now are sick people. Listen to this.
So we really want to base our treatment and to affirm and to support and empower these youth, not to limit their participation in activities and sports, and even limit their ability to get gender affirmation treatment in their state.
I think she means grooming, not empowering.
The idea that a 12-year-old kid can decide, well, I want to be a boy now, or if they're a boy, I want to be a girl, is ludicrous. And you can think whatever you want about an adult making that choice, and different people have different opinions and whatever. That's an adult making an adult choice. This is a child who you are going to deny them to ever have a chance to have a normal existence. Because going through that process, even if it's ultimately where biology is biology and science is science, right? And if you're born a boy, you're born a boy, and there's things that come with that. And if you're born a girl, there's things that come with that. And even going through that process as an adult dramatically screws up your existence. It dramatically changes your existence. Even if mentally that makes you more fulfilled, biologically, physically, what that does to you, it takes a dramatic toll on your body. How are we supposed to believe that, one, a 12-year-old can make that choice, and two, that there's not going to be some dramatic long-term ramifications for that?
Our president said she is a historic and deeply qualified choice to help lead our administration's health efforts. She's historically qualified.
That's your government.
Deeply qualified.
That's your government.
It's Kendall and Casey. You're listening to 93 WIBC. Thanks for being here this morning.
When traffic's a bear, Matt Bear is a beast.
And now we have a crash southbound 69 and 96th Street. Traffic absolutely soul-crushing.
When you need to get from here,
crashes on the east side, south side,
to there,
north side, crashes everywhere. An absolute car apocalypse today in the Circle City.
Matt Bear.
Delays, and when I say delays, I mean stop traffic continues to build.
Mornings and afternoons.
So you're going to want to change your reroute. In fact, I'll tell you right
93 WIBC.
Guys, if you need an annual health exam, check out the Low T Center to get your complete health assessment. They'll check all of your levels, not just your T level. In most cases, it's completely covered by your health insurance. And if you don't have insurance, it's less than $100 for a full lab panel and office visit with the medical provider. And they give you a complete health assessment. Low T Center, specializing in men's health. Go to lowtcenter.com right now. Book online. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get internet and security for just $60 a month when you add mobile, and save $480 your first year. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New Comcast Business 250 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. 2-year agreement required. Equipment installation, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep all services for 12 months to receive discount. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most RootMetrics 5G data reliability wins in 2H 2021. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new. Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel vPro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Man, I slept.
New ZzzQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep is made for people who are tired of being tired.
I've never slept like this before. I've never woken up like this before.
A melatonin-free sleep aid made with a botanical blend that contains clinically studied and effective valerian root, hops, and passion flower, shown to help promote better restorative sleep. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep. Sleep this good, feel this good. Available at retailers near you.
Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub.
Ah, Royal Spa.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
Let me warn you, he's a bad dude.
And Casey Daniels.
She's something,
She is magnificent.
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning, it's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Not only can you hear us on the radio, this wonderful broadcast is also on YouTube. Just go to the search bar and type in Kendall and Casey, WIBC, and you can watch us live. It's also available on Facebook and on Twitter. And if you are over there on the YouTubes, just give us a like, and we would appreciate that. There was a question that came up in the comments, Rob, that I thought I would ask you. And this is from Joe Nay, not Joey Day, who's also in the comments section. But Joe Nay wants to know,
yes,
what does Rob think about trading Todd Young to Kentucky for Rand Paul?
All right. So in professional sports, you will, and this is probably most prominent in the National Basketball Association, you will see a trade made, which they call unloading a bad contract. So you've got a player that is not living up to his end of the bargain. Mm-hmm. He's being paid a huge amount of money. And in order to rid yourself of that horrific contract, you will trade multiple assets in the deal so that somebody will agree to take your problem away for you. Mm-hmm. In the case of trading Todd Young, mm-hmm. and man, if we could get Rand Paul, that'd be great.
We'd be trading up.
But I would trade Todd Young. Let me be as clear as I can to people watching us in the YouTube chat. I would vote for an orange peel. A literal orange peel, like as if it were Todd Young v. Orange Peel. I would vote for the orange peel because the orange peel would have done a lot less damage than Todd Young. So in order to get Todd Young out of the state of Indiana, I would ship, if we're doing NBA trade terms here, mm-hmm. my bad contract, which is Todd Young, and multiple future first-round conservative draft picks to get him completely out of the state of Indiana mm-hmm. forever and ever and ever and ever. Mm-hmm. Hi, Todd.
I love these fantasy politics we're playing here. Really need to invent this game, and then you can have the app where people can bet on it as well, and you could trade players. Fantasy politics. That's $1 million idea,
yeah,
Rob.
That's perfect.
Come up with that one. Okay, so President Biden's approval ratings have fallen below 30%.
Yeah, that's not good.
And it is really not good. According to the survey, he has net negative approval in every single state with the exception of Hawaii.
Yes, almost every single state he's in below 30% in the majority of states. As you mentioned, 47% Hawaii, which is the most liberal state in the union, even more liberal than California. Vermont is even at 40%. And then everything else is underwater. So Breitbart had the story. Indiana's a 22% approval rating. Let's take some swing states because obviously that's what's most interesting and what matters. Arizona, 26%. Georgia, 24%. Ohio, 25%. Again, where's New Mexico? New Mexico, ABCD. They don't have New Mexico on here, of course. But regardless, I mean, almost every single state, it is teens or mid-20s at best. Mm-hmm. Even the liberal states, it is a colossal catastrophe.
The top issue for everybody, inflation. And there's also a survey that coincides with this, and this is from Yahoo News. And this one says that just 18% of Americans want Biden to run for re-election in 2024. Here in the great state of Indiana, that number is only 22%.
We were talking about this before the show. There's no possible way that the Democrat Party can allow Joe Biden to be the nominee for president, right? I mean, there's no. You've got people waltzing into the White House while Joe Biden is not there, acting like they own the place.
Are you talking about Gavin Newsom?
I'm talking about the former Mr. Kimberly Guilfoyle, Gavin Newsom.
He was walking outside of the White House with his jacket over his shoulder like, I'm here for my job.
And if you were to take, now Newsom is a total left-wing lunatic, but if you were to take a guy who looks straight out of central casting to be the president of the United States, like in a movie, who's the guy playing the president?
Right.
You know, it's Bill, what's his name? Bill Pullian in Independence Day. It's Gavin Newsom. Frat bro could be the president of the United States.
He likes to play the part. He's already showing up at the White House.
This is the point, right? I mean, the level of disrespect to essentially invite yourself in and waltz around the White House while the president is overseas and nobody's stopping him or condemning him or telling him, get the hell out of here. There's no way Joe Biden's going to be the nominee for president in 2024.
Condemning him. They're using it as a photo shoot.
But because they're looking at the numbers and I don't know how they're going to get Biden to not run. I don't know. Maybe they'll be able to convince him he's already run for president twice. I don't know. You know, who knows what's going on in between those years? Maybe they'll convince him, no, you're constitutionally ineligible. You can't run again. I mean, who knows?
Well, it's very interesting because even CNN did a poll, and it showed that just 31% say that Biden has the right priorities. Only 31% of CNN poll. So you're listening to Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, above your eyes, below your eyes, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor, you've visited urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing. Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and nasal sprays. But the sinus infections keep coming back. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your sinus infections anymore. Set an appointment today with Indianapolis Sinus Center and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
The reality of owning property is that it can sometimes become a burden. Maybe you own a vacant, condemned, or foreclosed property. Maybe you need to move fast for work or a family emergency. Perhaps you inherited a home, got a divorce, or just can't maintain the home you currently have. Getting free of that burden with cash in hand is easier than you think. Enhanced Property Solutions makes it simple for you to sell your property fast for cash on the date you pick. Any condition. No realtors, no fees, no hassles. EnhancedPropertySolutions.com or call 317-676-2050.
Feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Golden Oak Lending can save you money with their low fixed rates.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. You can offset today's high prices by using the low interest equity in your home to pay off credit cards, make home improvements, or simply put cold hard cash back in your pocket.
Start saving money and skip 2 mortgage payments. Call 317-706-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Lending, cured by blue.
NMLS 114937.
Ever get those midday cravings, but you can't decide what to snack on? With over 6,000 fresh, healthy, irresistible snacks, Nuts.com has you covered. A family-run business since 1929, Nuts.com has provided the freshest, highest quality snacks and foods for almost 100 years. Don't be fooled by the name. We offer a wide variety of the most delicious dried fruits, sweets, trail mixes, and more. All our snacks are carefully sourced to ensure we're offering the freshest ingredients on the market. We get cream-of-the-crop top picks from America's best farmers, colossal-sized nuts and fruit bursting with full flavor and ample nutrients. Our nuts are roasted daily, and we ship fast for ultimate freshness you can't get anywhere else. Right now, first-time customers can get free shipping on their orders. That's free shipping on your first order by visiting Nuts.com today. Don't wait to satisfy those cravings. Go to Nuts.com for the freshest, tastiest snacks you and your family will love.
Hi, it's Steve Mann. Have you heard the commercials for the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking seminars? And they said only $49.99 and it could work for you. So I thought, that's not even a week's worth of smoking. So I went. And guess what? It did work for me. You know, my friends and family are still amazed. I quit smoking. I didn't have cravings, anxiety, or weight gain. Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof, and it's 100% guaranteed. So what do you got to lose? I'll tell you what you got to lose. A very bad habit.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Only $49.99 guaranteed. Designed to work without anxiety, irritability, or weight gain for only $49.99. Become a non-smoker. That's right. Seminar times are 8 to 10 p.m. on Thursday, July 28th at the Hampton Inn and Suites in Fishers, and 2 to 4 p.m. on Saturday, July 30th at the La Quinta Inn and Suites South in Indianapolis. Registration 30 minutes before seminar.
August 11, returning to Carmel for one night only at the Palladium, the Glenn Miller Orchestra. Tickets on sale now at the Center's box office or online at thecenterpresents.org.
Summer, birds, bees, and yep, air conditioners. So cool down, save big. Call 888-RHINO-41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino. Rhino Shield.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Better check before you go. 81 and sunny downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:31. President Biden warning you about traveling to certain countries. Fox's Jared Halpern.
An executive order signed by President Biden expands tools to deter hostage-taking and wrongful detentions by giving federal agencies authority to impose sanctions on those involved directly or indirectly. The State Department's travel advisories are also adding a D indicator to highlight an elevated risk of wrongful detention by a foreign government. The administration has accused Russia of wrongfully detaining American WNBA player Brittany Griner. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Former Trump chief strategist Steve Bannon heads back to a courtroom this morning after jury selection got underway in his contempt trial Monday. Bannon was found in contempt of Congress for ignoring a subpoena from the January 6th House Committee. While Bannon has dismissed the proceedings as a show trial, he said yesterday that he believes the jury will be fair. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
So there's a big old bus going to the State House. And, well, what could be better than a bus going to the State House? 93 WIBC, it's Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob Casey's here. Let's go to the drivebugler.com hotline, joined by our good friend. He is the voice of the conservative movement in the state of Indiana, Pastor Micah Beckwith. All right, Beckwith, you got a big old bus going to the State House next week. What's going on?
Man, we've got two buses going, Rob.
Two buses,
so
that's great.
What's better than one bus going to the State House? It's two buses going to the State House. So, July 26th, we are taking anyone who wants to jump on the bus, meet at Life Church. I think we're gonna be pulling out around 9:00 in the Noblesville campus from Life Church. If you want a bus ride down there, we're gonna take as many pro-lifers as we can to go down and to just show up and show our support to the legislators as they're getting ready to probably vote on one of the most important pieces of legislation they've ever voted on in their life.
Okay, this is about abortion. This is not some sort of Beckwith Incorporated tour event, right?
That's right. No, I may be the tour guide saying, on your left, we have Rob Kendall's house. Everyone wave to Rob Kendall as we go by.
Okay, so the session starts the 25th, so this would be the second day of the session. What do you hope to accomplish by the big old Beckwith bus tour?
Well, so we're partnering with the Indiana Family Institute and Students for Life in this. So it's not just the Beckwith team, but there's going to be a lot of people going down. And here's what I always hear from our legislators is they, like take the education bill, for instance, that got the Senate just totally buckled under fear when that went through. They said, well, you guys didn't show up. The other side showed up in droves. I'm like, well, the other side doesn't work for a living like conservatives do and Republicans, right? And And I said, but the greater point is this: we shouldn't have to show up, guys. We elected you to do what you told us you were going to do when you ran for office, and then we should be able to just say, okay, go down to the State House, do your job. We shouldn't have to continue to petition you to do what you already told us you were going to do. And specifically with abortion, for the last 50 years, you told us you were going to do this. But for some reason, they think they take a poll with their eyes. If there's a ton of pro-choicers and abortion advocates down there, they say, oh, my gosh, the whole state of Indiana wants abortion, so I guess we probably should vote for abortion. And so it's stupid that we have to do this, but that's just kind of the world we live in, so we're going to do it.
Okay, so before we get off this, because I have several questions about the Republicans, and this will shock you, they don't return my inquiries, so I depend on you to give me the information. Give people all the information, whether they want to join you on the bus tour or they just want to meet you at the State House. What is all the info?
Yeah, so 9 o'clock at Life Church, Noblesville campus. Be here. You can have a seat on the bus. If not, just meet us down there. The rally starts at 11 o'clock. From 11 to 11:45, we're going to have a rally. I think in the North Atrium, I believe, is where it's going to be. But then we're going to be passing out shirts, and then afterwards, it's just walking around the State House, shaking hands with legislators, letting them know that you're expecting them to vote for a strong pro-life bill, and that's really what it is. It's just going to be a good time of people just exercising their freedom of speech and letting our legislators know where we stand.
Micah Beckwith is our guest. So we had Mike Schmuel on the program yesterday. He's the head of the Indiana Democrat Party. I don't agree with him on just about anything, but he comes on, he answers the questions, he talks about where the Democrats are on the abortion issue. And Mike, I've said this, I have way more respect for that guy than I do a Hupfer or a Holcomb or a Houston or a Bray, because I know where the Democrats stand, and the Republicans, I have no idea where they stand, and that is infuriating. Where are you on this topic?
Oh, I agree with you, Rob. I've said this time and time again, especially to the Republican legislators or leaders that I have private conversations with. I said, go on Rob's show. Yes. Why don't you just go on the show? And they're like, oh, I would never do that. I would never get on that show because he's going to try to get me. I'm like, well, don't you know where you stand on issues? If you know where you stand on issues, if you know what you know and know why you know it, he can't get you. You just go on and tell him what you believe and why you believe. He may disagree with you, but just go out and tell the world what you believe. I don't understand why Republicans are so afraid to get out there and tell us what they believe, right? But to your point, Mike Schmuel, it's like, I have a lot of respect for that. Like, I don't agree with him on hardly anything either, but like the AOCs of the world, the Cori Bushes of the world, the Mike Schmuels of the world, they're radical, communists, but at least they tell you that they're radical communists. You know what I mean? Like,
well, this is the thing. It's like we had the conversation. We basically know that the Democrats, and he basically confirmed it by not kind of answering the question. I mean, he answered the question, but he didn't, which is they generally believe in abortion from conception to live birth. Okay, I disagree with it. What am I going to do, scream at the guy? We got his opinion out there, and now people have the info, and they can vote accordingly. But at least he has the intestinal fortitude, despite being in the super minority in the state, on a radio station that leans way to the other side of where he's at, to come on and do it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, more power to him, and I give him a high five and props for doing that. And I love going into environments where people disagree with me. Like, to give you an idea, we just had the Hamilton County Fair this past week.
Oh, yeah.
And I spent more time at the Democrat booth. I was supposed to be working the Republican booth, but I went over to the Democrat booth, and no joke, just spent time talking to him. I was an hour and a half both days I was working at the Democrat booth, even to the point where one of the reporters came up. He said, hey, can I get a picture of everyone? And I was like, oh, you guys don't want me in this picture. Trust me. Like, you guys will get absolutely blasted if I'm in this picture with you. But,
I love that all the merch got stole from the Hamilton County Republican booth because Micah was at the Democrat booth not paying attention to anything.
No, that's good. We had people over. We had a ton of people at the Republican booth, but it was good.
So my question to you is, do the Republicans not want help? We talked about this yesterday. I, on this issue, want to help if the Republicans are going to indeed put pro-life legislation forward. I can't help you if you won't tell me, and I think I'm speaking for a lot of other media, conservative media, we can't help you if you won't tell us what you're going to do, and then by the time the session starts, it's too late to help you because the die will be cast, and trust me, the big lefties will be down there. Why don't they want help?
I don't know, Rob. That is a great question. I can't answer that. I wish I knew the answer to that. My only speculation I can say is that for some reason they think that if they, God forbid, they let their plans out to the public, that somehow the left is going to be able to get in there and destroy their plans. And I'm thinking to myself, guys, like, if your plans are good plans, the people of Indiana are going to be behind you. Like, there's nothing the left's going to be able to do. But to your point, they don't ever let us in on this. And then they get into the session and we have no clue what's going on. And all of a sudden they're like, hey, we need you down at the State House today at 2 o'clock. Hurry up. It's like, it's 1:30, right? 2 o'clock, get down here. Gosh, there's a lot of people down here that they're not, and they're pro-aborts and, and all this stuff. And so, and I'm like, guys, that would have been nice to know 2 weeks ago,
right.
You know what I mean? But so I don't know. I can't answer that question. I wish you make a really valid point, Rob.
That's what I do.
I hate to say it.
Thank you.
But you do.
That's what I do. That's why I'm very highly rated. I make a lot of valid points. Michael Beckwith is our guest. A couple minutes left with him. So what is we always hear about the Republicans do this all the time. And you mentioned the education bill where they caved on the CRT bill because, well, there were so many red-shirted teachers there. And boy, we were just overwhelmed. What is the ramification if they don't follow through on pro-life legislation here, on a ban of abortion in some capacity? Can you give us a little preview of what the conservative movement, the life movement, is going to do if these guys screw you after all these years of promising?
Oh, they're going to get shellacked. I mean, it's going to be. I told my rep the other day, and I like him. I think he's a good pro-life guy, and he's fighting for a strong pro-life bill. But I told him, I said, if you guys don't get this one right, then we're primarying all y'all.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I am going to be the loudest advocate for throwing all the bums out and starting over. And you know what they're going to say? They're going to say, well, you can't do that because the Democrats will take over. And I'm going to say, you know what? Give it over to the Democrats and let it just crash and burn so that we then can go back in with good, like, character-driven, bold leaders in the conservative Republican movement that will then fix everything. If that has to be the case, that has to be the case. You know, as a pastor, you look back throughout history, how many times did God give his children over to the enemy? And the enemy did very terrible things to his children. But God did that because the leadership in God's people was so filthy, so rotten, so just full of cowards, not doing the right thing. He said, fine, I'll give you over to the enemy. We'll purge all of these bad leaders, and then I will raise up a young generation, a newer generation that will go in. I will set them free, and then that new generation, like Joshua, will actually say, hey, choose this day who you serve, but as for me and my house, we're serving the Lord. And I told my rep, I said, if you guys don't get this right, that's what's coming. Just know that. And I said, I love you all, but we're going to totally just remove you all from office, and it will however long it takes. We're going to do that, and we're going to start over with a young, new breed of conservative leaders that are bold and will do the right thing even under pressure.
Okay, real quick before I let you go, I have to ask you one hard question. When you ran for Congress, this is when I became aware of you. You impressed me because you spent about 8 cents per vote. How much did you spend on your campaign car?
Oh, my gosh. Okay, So here's the thing. You're only saying this because Diego spent money on his car. But
wait. Time out, Pastor. I'm not saying because he spent money on a car. I'm saying because he spent $44,000. Diego Morales, the Republican candidate for Secretary of State, spent almost $44,000 on a campaign car. Go ahead.
You're only asking this question because you don't like breakfast tacos. So if I can use Jill Biden's, phrasing. No, I think. Listen, I like Diego. I think he was a hard worker, and I don't know what's going on in his campaign finance. And you absolutely have every right to kind of bring light to it and say, hey, Diego, live above reproach. I mean, that's the call. Say, hey, live above reproach. You can't do anything even that has the slightest hint of a lack of integrity or else. But he was. In Diego's defense, he was traveling the state like I have never seen a candidate travel the state. I don't know about you, but I mean, I know your car. Your car probably could barely make it from Brownsburg to Noblesville. So if you're going to be traveling, I mean, he put thousands of miles on a car. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm kind of thinking like, hey, you're probably going to use campaign money. It's either that or have a lease or.
Hey, I have a question for you, Beckwith. Are you getting dizzy from all this spinning you're attempting to do here?
No, I'm not. I like to spin. It's fun.
Okay, real quick before I let you go, the big convoy, it's coming up next week. Tell us about it again.
Yes, Tuesday, July 26th, 9 o'clock, meet at Life Church, the Noblesville campus. That's 2200 Sheridan Road in Noblesville. And or you can meet us down at the State House. The rally begins at 11 a.m. I believe in the North Atrium. Come down, support life, stand boldly for life. That you'll be on the right side of history if you do.
All right, the one and only Pastor Micah Beckwith. Thank you, my friend.
Hey, thanks, buddy. See you.
93 WIBC, it's Kendall and Casey Show.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Some things sound so good you can almost taste it. Like Bluebell Strawberry Lemonade Ice Cream. Delicious strawberry ice cream swirled with lemonade sherbet and sprinkled with lemon-flavored flakes. It's better than you can imagine.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at select Kroger stores and Walgreens.
How much money have you lost in the stock market? You know, there's a way you could stop the bleeding and potentially make up for some of those devastating losses. It's Terry Stacy. Learn how you could get a competitive return on your money right now and receive a 5, 10, or as much as a 35% initial bonus on your investment. That's right. And you'll sleep well knowing your money is protected by some of the top-rated insurance companies in the world. To learn more, call Bill Demery, my retirement guy, at 317-349-5212. Get a competitive return on your investment that beats the bank and receive a 5, 10, or as much as a 35% bonus on your investment. To learn more, call Bill Demery at 317-349-5212. That's 317-349-5212.
Hi, it's Steve Mann. Have you heard the commercials for the Mark Patrick Stop Smoking seminars? And they said only $49.99 and it could work for you. So I thought, that's not even a week's worth of smoking. So I went. And guess what? It did work for me. You know, my friends and family are still amazed. I quit smoking. I didn't have cravings, anxiety, or weight gain. Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof, and it's 100% guaranteed. So what do you got to lose? I'll tell you what you got to lose. A very bad habit.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Only $49.99 guaranteed. Designed to work without anxiety, irritability, or weight gain for only $49.99. Become a non-smoker. That's right. Seminar times are 8 to 10 p.m. on Thursday, July 28th at the Hampton Inn & Suites in Fishers, and 2 to 4 p.m. on Saturday, July 30th at the La Quinta Inn & Suites South in Indianapolis. Registration 30 minutes before seminar.
Why did Mayo Clinic choose Hancock Health as a member of its select Mayo Clinic Care Network? It might have been the fact that we have one of the nation's safest hospitals. It could have been our high patient satisfaction scores. It's somewhat less likely that it was our cafeteria's Sushi Thursdays, but we doubt if that hurt anything. See what Hancock Health's new clinical collaboration with Mayo Clinic means for you at hancockregional.org/Mayo Clinic.
Your favorite summertime tradition returns at your Indiana State Fair. Join us for a celebration of all things Indiana, including our automotive excellence in partnership with Tom Wood Automotive Group. 18 magical days, 4 fun-filled weekends of food, rides, animals, and more. Save big on advanced discount tickets till July 28th at IndianaStateFair.com. Join us for fun at the speed of summer, July 29th through August 21st.
Here's Terry Stacy to tell you what's going on with WIBC.
Check out our website to see where the next Home and Garden Show on the road will be. We're live every Saturday starting at 9 a.m. You don't want to miss it. Be sure to tune in to Pat, Denny, and the gang on 93 WIBC. And follow WIBC on your favorite social media channels to stay up to date on breaking news, traffic updates, and weather. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Grab more info online at WIBC.com.
Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub.
Ah, Royal Spa.
Out here in the fields.
His approval ratings are through the roof. We love him. Talking about Hammer from the Hammer and Nigel show. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. And you know what? I have to ask you something, and I'll get to it really quickly. So,
yes, I'll take my shirt off for you.
Does Nigel normally sits in this chair, right?
Correct.
Because we share this computer, and every time I pull up Facebook, it's somebody else's Facebook account, and I'm so tempted.
Oh, you should totally just have a field day with it.
Is it Nigel's?
You tell me.
Here,
is it Nigel? Is it Nigel's Facebook?
This is a Hammer scooting over,
Or
putting his arm around Casey.
It looks like maybe it's Crystal Hammer's. Whose Facebook account is this?
Well, if you go to the home page, it'll tell you whose it is. If you just go home.
So that's Crystal Hammer's, and she hasn't been in studio probably for 2 weeks.
Okay, I'm gonna log her out.
Yeah,
I'm doing her a solid.
Because Lord knows what's in that Facebook account.
Log out.
All right, so here's the question I have for you, Hammer. Is obviously this 22-year-old kid is a hero, saves the lives in the Greenwood Mall, deserves a Sagamore the Wabash Street named after him, ticker tape parade, all the stuff. The photo of him has now surfaced, and there are two photos that have surfaced. The one is like a professional-looking headshot type of photo. The other appears to be a photo from several years ago when he was in maybe high school.
Maybe even younger.
A bathroom selfie. And it got me thinking, if you did something heroic, and I'll ask this to you, Casey, too. If you did something heroic, have you ever pondered what photo of you would go out into the ether for the masses to consume?
I know my answer. I'm going to let Casey go ahead and answer. Then I'll give you mine at the end.
I don't have a current one that I would use. I would have to get the ring light out, and there'd be filtering going on.
No, you don't have a choice, right? I mean, they're going to pick a photo, and that's what's going to go to the news.
Well, then I guess just the latest one that I have on my Instagram, Casey Daniels 317.
There's a Photoshop photo of me doing a Burt Reynolds pose. Where I'm laying across a bearskin rug. It's my face on Burt Reynolds' body, and it's everything.
I like that.
I'm going to see if I can find it.
I am really hoping, and you actually have used this before on We Go Off the Rails with Rob Kendall. There is a photo of me from about 15 years ago without a shirt on and a backwards hat and my Ultimate Warrior autographed canvas.
You've got the Kenny Chesney puka shells necklace on.
I was in so much better shape back then.
That's the pick you want.
I'm hoping. Rob Kendall saves entire mall.
I'm showing Rob the one that I want to use.
Oh, let me see. Oh, goodness. Here, let's see if we can put
you
this
show that up? Yeah, up there to the...
Oh, I don't know if you can see it online, but wow, that is something.
And some of the media around here is probably would go with that photo. Wow, what a photo of Hammer.
It's like on The Simpsons where they show file photo of Homer, and it's either he's got 100 cigarettes in his mouth or he's riding backwards on a donkey with a lampshade on his head.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to give you guys credit yesterday for that segment you did about Dan Dockich and this ridiculous piece written about him by IndyStar. To let that piece go on a day where the guy is out raising thousands of dollars for needy people and charity. It was just a horrific move by the IndyStar.
And on top of that, they called Dan's other charity effort, his Bicycles for Kids program, something you would say sometimes, Rob, a human shield. He's using those kids as human shields.
They knew the guy was out there and wouldn't be on the air to defend himself. Look, if you want to not like Dan Dockich, fine. You want to have a public spat with Dan Dockich, fine. But to release that on a day where everybody knows where he's at and what he's doing, and it wasn't like he was going to stop the charity event to respond to this, just a total cowardly move to do that. And it really, to take away from the money he was raising to help a lot of needy people, was just Man, I just thought that was very cowardly.
Well, think about the sports calendar right now. This is known as the worst sports week of the year. There's nothing going on. Training camps haven't really started. You've got a couple weeks until preseason football. All you have is the All-Star Game and Home Run Derby. That's it. So what does the Indy Star do to drum up some clicks? They bash Dan Dockich. And there's multiple personalities, writers over there that do that. Had this been football season, he wouldn't have wrote that. Had this been basketball season, he wouldn't have wrote it, but he needed clicks. And his audience will eat it up, but at the same time, Dan Dockich's audience will fight back.
Well, I'm super excited for his show today at noon. I assume he is back today to address this.
I went to go read the article, and it was behind a paywall, and I said, nope.
And a lot of people did that. And it just, I know Dan. I consider him a friend, a coworker. The guy they described there is not the guy that I know, and I know the guy does a lot of good for a lot of people. And if you want to dislike someone publicly, great. But to go after them on a day they're out doing very important charitable work, I just thought was ridiculous.
And the way he did it, he came off just like a whiny crybaby witch or something that rhymes with it.
Well, I thought you guys handled it well yesterday, so I wanted to say that. What's coming up this afternoon?
So our pal Ben Polizzi, who used to work here, is now on an HBO series. We're going to talk to him. We've got the gang from Hiatus Tequila coming into studio. Yeah. And Tuesdays with Tony Katz, baby, we're loaded.
All right, it's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Smart homeowners know that proper maintenance of their home's AC can save a bundle in the long run. Trust our comfort specialists at 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning to keep your AC running strong. A proactive tune-up can actually help your AC run more efficiently and save you money on your electric bill. Call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com. We won't leave you waiting. Sing it with me.
Always on time or you don't pay it time. Always on time or you don't pay it time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Interest rate hikes are slowing home price growth, but you can still get top dollar for your home right now with Mark Dietel. Maybe you are worried you missed the boat on selling for maximum price. Mark guarantees multiple offers on your home in 3 days or it's listed for free. Get maximum convenience and maximum sales price. Listen to what Randy in Indianapolis had to say about working with Mark Dietel. I had a rental property I was ready to sell to cash out in our hot market. Selling fast was good, but more importantly, I was looking to sell for top dollar. Mark Dietel delivered both. I got 20 offers and sold for $15,000 over high asking in a few weeks. Mark is the guy to get you the best price in Indianapolis. Call the agent I recommend and trust. Mark Dietel guarantees multiple offers in 3 days for full market value or it's listed for free. Call Mark Dietel, 317-755-4232, or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get internet and security for just $60 a month when you add mobile and save $480 your first year. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New Comcast Business 250 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. 2-year agreement required. Equipment installation, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep all services for 12 months to receive discount. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most RootMetrics 5G data reliability wins in 2H 2021. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
Summer's in Indy, and since 2001, Rhino Shield has been covering Indiana homes and businesses. Just ask Mike.
Was watching TV one night and saw the Rhino Shield ad, and I thought, well, if they can do a house, they can probably do a building.
And Rhino Shield's not paint, it's better.
So they came out and they gave me a price, showed me how the Rhino works, how it lasts, and how the guarantee works.
Business owners, you too can get the 25-year protection of Rhino Shield right now for 10% off the regular price.
They started on the building. They waited for us to leave, and they worked Saturday and Sunday so they wouldn't affect our business at all. This was the great part of it. I came back Sunday night, and you couldn't even tell they were here. There was no paint on the ground. They did a fantastic job.
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Nearly 90% of people that struggle with addiction don't get help. Don't wait until it's too late. With Landmark Recovery, you can overcome drug addiction and live a better life. Call Landmark Recovery at 866-LANDMARK or visit landmarkrecovery.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, who the shooter was that stopped the shooting from getting worse in Greenwood. Chris Davis reports. Plus, perjury is the charge against a woman in Evansville that you may have heard of before. And gas stations in Indiana seem to be stubborn about lowering gas prices to where they should be. All that and more coming up from the Shepherd Community Center studios after Fox News Radio. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
Put the masks back on. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. With COVID cases on the rise again, San Diego has brought a mandate back for summer school students. Los Angeles may reimpose an indoor mask mandate July 29th. That's getting mixed reviews.
It's so easy. You put on pants to go outside, you wear a mask, you know. It's not that big of a deal. I will not wear a mask.
Now, the CDC says the Omicron BA.5 subvariant is blamed for 78% of COVID infections last week when there were the most new U.S. cases in 5 months.
Federal health officials say high-quality masks, such as N95s, do offer protection, but the problem is that many people find them uncomfortable to wear, especially for long periods of time. Cloth masks offer reduced protection, and some parents argue it's just not worth the inconvenience of forcing small children to wear them day in and day out.
Fox's Jonathan Seri. Congressman Betty Thompson has COVID. The Democrat chairs the House committee investigating last year's Capitol riot, and he wants Thursday's public hearing at night to go on without him. Ex-Trump White House advisor Steve Bannon calls those hearings,
"It's nothing but a show trial. It's time they start having other witnesses. They can give other testimony other than what they've been putting up."
He wants to testify now, but Bannon's facing a trial for contempt of Congress for not cooperating. As jury selection continues, he's asking the judge for a 1-month delay. There's news just in from New York City. The district attorneys dropped the controversial murder charge that led to protests against a bodega worker who had claimed he acted in self-defense, killing a man after being attacked in the small grocery store. There's sweltering in Europe. Hundreds of heat deaths reported in Portugal and Spain. It's the hottest day on record in Britain, topping 104 degrees.
It's very hot outside. I think staying in the shade is the best option you've got.
London mayor says the heat sparked a surge of fires. Wildfires also scorching France, and a wildfire's burned at least 5 homes in Kingdom Possum, Texas, west of Dallas in drought conditions. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He stopped the shooter. It's sunny and 82 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling for Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 11:02. The man who shot and killed the Greenwood Park Mall shooter, Chris Davis reports.
When the door to the food court restroom swung open, Jonathan Sapirman came out and killed Victor Gomez, then aimed into the food court, killing husband and wife Pedro and Rosa Pineda of Indy. Then Elisha Dickin of Seymour intervened.
He engaged the gunman from quite a distance with a handgun.
Greenwood Police Chief Jim Eisen.
And he was also motioning for people to exit behind him.
A toddler hit and killed at an intersection on the north side. It was along Allisonville Road in Castleton. Early Monday evening, actually. It was along 82nd Street on the north side. Police don't have a description of the vehicle that hit the child. Don't expect the heat to let up anytime soon across Indiana.
Tomorrow, Wednesday, will be hot, low 90s across the realm. And then as we look to the late week and the weekend, expect to have high temperatures in the low 90s going all the way through Sunday.
Alex McGinnis with the National Weather Service says there could also be some heavy rain at times Wednesday with damaging winds. Heat index values could reach 100 at times. The wife of a murdered firefighter in Evansville is pleading not guilty to perjury charges. Elizabeth Fox Doer has been charged with 2 counts of lying under oath. Fox Doer was arrested after her testimony in front of a grand jury a week ago. Now, it's not clear if the charges are related to her late husband's death. Robert Doer was shot and killed in front of their home back in 2019. During that investigation of the case, she was arrested for false informing and obstruction of justice. Gas prices should be lower than they are in Indianapolis right now, says Gas Buddy's Patrick DeHaan.
I think it's just a matter of time before Indianapolis sees its first station under that $4 a gallon mark.
He says there are several stations in Indiana right now that are floating $5 a gallon, which has them flirting with legal action. The average price for gas in Indiana is $4.56 for unleaded. I'm Kurt Darling on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, it's Hammer and Nigel, and you can beat the heat with Window Nation. Get $200 off any style new window and pay no interest until 2024. Plus, get a free entry door with the purchase of a house of windows. Call 866-90-NATION or go online at windownation.com.
Set up a free in-home consultation and you can lock in this amazing offer for 6 months. Window Nation will show you how over 1 million of their expertly installed, money-saving, double pane, Energy Star efficient windows are already rewarding and cooling families in over 150,000 homes. Take advantage of this very cool offer while it lasts. For a limited time, you'll save $200 on every window and save more with no interest until 2024. Plus, receive a free entry door with the purchase of a house of windows. But you have to call right now, 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
The Republican Party in Indiana sees zero problem in record spending, in record taxation.
And Casey Daniels.
You went out there and said, please vote for me. You debated other people on why you're the better person for the position. Suck it up.
This is the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, July 19th, and things that are trending this hour. Jim Harbaugh, Michigan's football coach, has said that we should have the courage to let the unborn be born.
Oh, he's going to get in big trouble for that.
Also trending is Pigpen. People are reacting to the addition of the fictional character from the Peanuts comic strip that appears alongside Donald Trump strategist Steve Bannon as he was awaiting trial.
Yes.
And finally, Skittles trending again this morning. A class action lawsuit is claiming that Skittles are, quote, unfit for human consumption because there is a known toxin within.
You needed a lawsuit to know Skittles are unfit for human consumption.
Yeah. No, we knew that already. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC, 6 minutes after 11. And this guy.
Wait. Can I just say something real quick about people in our YouTube chat? And by the way, don't forget, you can watch us on the internet. Just go to YouTube, put in Kendall and Casey, WIBC. You can watch it over there. Mm-hmm. We read these comments. You people need to play nice with each other. There's a lot of fighting going on in our YouTube chat today. And be nice to each other. We all are existing in this space together. And everybody's allowed to have different opinions, but everybody be respectful to each other. And that is my memo for the morning.
You listen to Dad, or he's going to come back there.
We love every one of you.
Separate you two.
Even the people who hate us, we love you because in terms of our bonus structure, you all count the same. So everybody be nice to each other.
So while you're fighting on there, make sure you give us a like, though. If you don't want to go to YouTube, you can watch the video stream on Facebook or on Twitter as well. Or just listen the old-fashioned way on the radio. We appreciate that as well. Let's go to Joe Rogan. This guy's got a podcast. We put Kevin to work this morning. He had to do some creative editing.
I always feel bad about giving Kevin Rogan stuff because I once upon a time was a producer here. And I used to hate it when I would get Rogan stuff because every third word usually involves a bleeping of some sort. And it takes forever to be able to do this.
Yeah.
But, and I've told you this many times, Casey, I don't understand the Rogan thing. I've never heard Rogan give a take that I thought, wow, that is the most insightful thing I've ever heard. I get that he's a good interviewer. I don't think being a good interviewer to me has never been that big of a deal, maybe because I'm such a phenomenal interviewer that it just comes so naturally. But I accept the fact that whether I agree with it or understand it or whatever, that in the society in which we live, Joe Rogan is a big deal. And when he says things, that it will move the needle on stuff with a group of people.
He did have this take. He called Trump a man baby.
So he had Tom Segura, who's a comedian, on with him, and they really spanned the gauntlet on this one. They claim he was on drugs. They call him a man baby. Let's go and hope Kevin bleeped it all properly.
I think that is incredible about that guy is that, I'm saying even when you watch him as president, he was full of energy.
Full of it.
Every day. And they say he slept for like 4 hours a night. He's one of those people.
He's on Adderall.
God.
Do you think he's on Adderall?
Yes, I do. Only because there were multiple people who used to work on The Apprentice that were like, he was gassed up for shoots.
Really?
Yeah, because he has trouble reading. He doesn't. He would struggle to read prompter or script when he was just let's say sober. So they would give him that, and he would dial in more on reading because he gets very bored. They said, he would get bored at the CIA briefing in the mornings. He was like, I don't want to read that. There's a daily briefing you get as president. He's like, you can read it and then tell me. And if it's bored, so they would have to make it more engaging for him because he would just
I heard
tap
that they
out.
would put his name in briefings multiple times to keep him interested.
And then Kushner, his son-in-law, said that he came up with a formula to keep him engaged.
Kushner did?
Yes, because he obviously was close to him and knew him well, and the formula was like 2 good, 1 bad. So if they were going to give him bad news, he'd go, you start with some good news. So they go, this is going well, everybody's thrilled with you about this. Here's a bad thing. Also, people love you for this. So that's how they would tell him bad news. They couldn't just go, here's a bunch of bad news.
Of course.
Yeah.
He's a man baby.
He's a toddler. Yeah, he's a toddler. It's exactly how I talk to my kids about shit.
You know what? He pointed, that's a classic management tactic. Now.
Sure, right.
When you want somebody, you have to coach them along.
Right.
You point out the good things they've done first, and then help them with the area that needs improvement.
And there's no
So that's not just for Trump.
There's no doubt Trump has, obviously, a gigantic ego. And as someone who has not only interviewed the president, but was told I was terrific.
And it was like a dream.
It was a great dream, and every interview could be just like me. I think I'm uniquely qualified to give analysis in terms of dealing with Donald Trump. And then I told him this when we got done. The Donald Trump that I saw, and I've long said we did the interview, and then the way, and we have new listeners all the time, and I hate telling the story about how great this day was for me, but I'll do it. The way they do or did interviews with Trump, and I'm sure it was throughout much of his presidency, there were, I think, 5 people doing interviews that day, and they give you 15 minutes. And what they tell you is you have 15 minutes from the moment he sits down, your clock starts. If you're not done, we will remove you from the premises. So you're cognizant of the time. And when we got done with time, boom, great, right on my 15 minutes, perfect. He's sitting there and just keeps talking. Like, we're done and we're just, shooting the breeze. And the lady is like giving me the sign, like, you got to go. And I was like, I'm not leaving.
Right.
And so we sat there and talked for several minutes, and he was really, really magnanimous and was really nice. And I told him at the end, I said, people saw this side of you. They would have a totally different opinion of you. And I think there is something about Donald Trump, and I don't know if it's mentally an issue or what, that he will not allow people to see that warm, caring, comfortable side of him that I think is what he actually is as a human being. I think what you see on television is an act. I think it's a giant persona, and naturally I think he has a huge ego. But you can turn it on one way, but I don't think you could turn on like what I saw, and I've heard this from many other people who who have dealt with him that as a human being, that's what he is.
That's the showmanship side,
Yeah,
or it's a defense
But the
mechanism.
showmanship works against him, and this is what I don't understand. It'd be one thing if, like, I have to fake the kindness.
Mhm.
He had no vested interest in sitting there and being nice to me after we were done. He'd gotten what he wanted out of it. I'd done the interview. He knew that I was going to do it upright for him. They had nothing to do. He did that because he genuinely was interested in me, and it was like, this is what people would win people over, and yet it's like the obsessiveness with the showmanship is always his downfall.
Now, Joe Rogan, during that clip, they said they thought he was on Adderall. Adderall is a prescription medication, contains 2 different drugs. It's classified as a stimulant. It is a controlled substance. It's the first choice treatment for ADHD.
Right.
So what do you think, since you've met him?
No. I think the people say this about me all the time. It's like, this guy's a nut, right? Well, for 3 hours a day, this is our job, right? Now, people ask all the time about this. What do you do? What is your life like? I go home. I watch golf. I play golf. I put the show together, whatever. I'm not running around for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, like we are in these 3 hours. No, my beliefs are the same. I'm not making up my belief system or how I feel about people. I genuinely despise Eric Holcomb and Todd Young and whatever. But, I don't sit around in my living room just yelling, about it. Our job is to entertain people for 3 hours a day. You give 100% in those 3 hours, and then you go decompress. I think you're capable, if you're shooting a television show, of being hyped up for that time period, and then you go have a soda. Trump doesn't drink, so you go have a soda. No, I don't think he's on drugs.
You mentioned golf, and we're talking about Trump, so let's segue right into this. He has urged golfers to take the money and sign with the Saudi-backed LIV series.
Good for him. Now, not pure disclosure. I don't have to disclose anything. But in the interest of fairness, Trump is mad because of the PGA. One of his courses was supposed to host the PGA Championship. The PGA pulled the tournament after January 6th because it is too controversial. We don't be associated with it. So Donald Trump is the last person to ever let go of a grudge of any sort. So he has a vested interest now in the PGA Tour, that being spite of the PGA Tour failing. So when he's rooting for these guys to go to LIV, he has his own reason for wanting that. And a bunch of Trump's courses are being used by the LIV Tour. Now, I put this in there because I want to say this, and I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. The crap that these LIV golfers are getting for going to this tour because, you're dealing and doing business with Saudi Arabia is wholly ridiculous. The President of the United States just went and met with the Crown Prince and begged for him to give us more oil. We sell arms, huge caches of weapons to Saudi Arabia. In the scale of egregious behavior, our national dependence upon oil and selling high-powered weaponry is far eclipses a bunch of guys getting money to play golf. Those LIV guys shouldn't feel bad about anything. Now, if we're going to stand on a moral high horse as a nation and we're cutting China off and we're cutting off Saudi Arabia and we're not buying arms or selling arms or buying oil, okay. But as long as we're doing those things, people should not feel bad about engaging in business in a country where it is legal to engage in business with that country.
Donald Trump said if you don't take the money now, you'll get nothing after the merger takes place. So be smart.
Yeah.
He's saying take the money and run.
100% right. The PGA Tour is in big trouble because you have 2 options in life, Casey. If you see the train coming, you can get run over by the train, or you can figure out a way to get on the train and help conduct where the train goes. The PGA Tour thought they were going to be tough guys and control what was going to happen to the train, and they got run over, and PGA Tour's in big trouble.
Now, is Cam Smith, just one last question for you. Cam Smith and his mullet, are they going to sign with LIV?
He would be stupid not to, because, again, the money that the LIV is offering far eclipses what he would make on the PGA Tour in years and years and years and years. The only leverage that these tours are going to have is if the U.S. Open and the British Open and the PGA Tour, PGA Championship come out and say you cannot participate in the Masters in these events unless you are part of these tours. I don't think they're going to do that because there's too many good players that are now part of LIV.
And no comment about the mullet?
You are so hung up on this. And it's an interesting look.
I know. I was
because Cam Smith.
I was texting you on Sunday during the match.
What's crazy, though, is Cam Smith, the one guy who won the British Open, several years ago was a real clean-cut, good-looking dude, and for some reason has decided the Joe Dirt approach was the best for his golf game.
Apparently it worked for him.
Yep.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Tony Katz.
Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, started running ads in Florida.
Freedom? It's under attack in your state. Your Republican leaders, they're banning books, making it harder to vote, restricting speech in classrooms, even criminalizing women and doctors.
Gavin Newsom is running for president. It's just a question of whether or not you're going to get noticed. Of course this is a move to get noticed.
Tony Katz, mornings 6 to 9 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
What good is faith? Pastor John Gable of Tabernacle Presbyterian Church in Indianapolis.
Faith in God is a wonderful gift. At TAB, we desire to be a resource for those who want to grow deep and strong in their relationship with God through teaching, worship, and prayer. But we also know that faith does no one any good if it doesn't help them to become more Christ-like by engaging and serving our neighbors, the community, and the world. TAB has a long history of putting hands and feet to faith through active service and ministry, just as Jesus did. If you'd like to learn more about having an active faith, stop on by or visit us at tabpres.org.
Tabernacle Presbyterian Church, 34th Street and Central Avenue in Indianapolis, invites you to worship Sunday morning at 8 or 10 a.m. If you can't make it in person, tune in to Sunday with Tab, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WIBC, or find us online at tabpres.org.
Tony Katz for Premier Arms in Brownsburg, Central Indiana's premier arms dealer. And yeah, they're doing construction there on Green Street. And yeah, that construction has been a pain in the you-know-what, but it's going to be worth it because they have the selection of new and used firearms that you want to see. And PA Jewelers, the jewelry store inside Premier Arms, means that there is something there for everyone. It is worth the drive and a little bit of traffic to get to Premier Arms, 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg, 317-858-3030, or online at premierarms.com.
Man, I slept.
New ZzzQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep is made for people who are tired of being tired.
I've never slept like this before. I've never woken up like this before.
A melatonin-free sleep aid made with a botanical blend that contains clinically studied and effective valerian root, hops, and passion flower, shown to help promote better restorative sleep. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Restorative Herbal Sleep. Sleep this good, feel this good. Available at retailers near you.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
He's a mean guy.
And Casey Daniels.
She's the nicest person I've ever met.
On 93 WIBC.
It's a major award. Jill Biden got a big award from the nation's largest teachers union. She was at the American Federation of Teachers Convention in Boston.
Now these are, if you were to look up radical left-wing lunatics in the dictionary, there would be a picture of Randy Weingarten and her goof troop over there. I mean, these are the same people who advocated for shutting down schools, for not returning to school, masking in schools. I mean, everything that was harmful for and to children, this teachers union, of which I believe Indiana is affiliated with, which is part of why we've seen such a radical left shift in public education in Indiana. And, heaven forbid the Republicans actually do something about that. They're only in charge and allocate the money. So Jill Biden got this award. And you notice she mentions everything but the kids.
Yeah.
Take a listen.
And it's what makes you such a powerful leader here at AFT. So thank you for your friendship. Thank you for caring. Thank you for putting this organization first every single day.
Put the organization first.
And I don't know with the Bidens, whether it's a Freudian slip or given her comment about the tacos last week. She's just that stupid to say it out loud. But that is what everyone should take away from it. And we have to be very clear. There are a lot of phenomenal teachers in our society. There are a lot of phenomenal teachers who don't do politics, who go and educate kids, and we salute you and thank you for what you do every single day. But these people, the AFT, their membership, they are giving all of you a horrific name. And she said it right there. Everything with these people is wholly political. It is about power and not the kids. And she admitted it right there. That is what the AFT means to the Bidens. It's not because they help kids. It's because they embolden the Democrat Party and were a major driver in her husband getting elected president of the United States. The AFT does not care about kids.
Let's talk about what she said just yesterday. She said that she was lamenting on her husband's presidency.
Wouldn't you?
And she said Joe had so many hopes and plans for things he wanted to do.
Yeah.
She then went on to say he's just had so many things thrown in his way. Who would have ever thought about what happened with the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade? Well, maybe we saw it coming, but we still didn't believe it. And notice she used past tense.
Yes. Well, and we talked about this when we went on air, or before we went on air. And I said, I think there is a realization for everyone probably not named Joe Biden that this is over, that it has been a disaster of epic proportions. There's nothing that's going to make it get any better. It's going to be just a complete washout in the midterms. And Joe Biden is not going to be the Democrats' nominee for president in 2024. So I thought it was very interesting you caught on to that. And I think there's 100% merit to it that the people around him recognize this is a slow march to a very sad end for him.
The mayor of Washington, D.C. wants the administration to work across state lines to prevent buses with illegal immigrants coming to her city.
So the governor of Texas, because Joe Biden is doing nothing about the border, he is letting a cavalcade of illegal immigrants walk at their own leisure into the United States unaccountable. When they do catch them, they're doing everything to not hold them accountable or keep them detained. The governor of Texas said, screw us, screw you, and is now dropping these illegal immigrants off in the mecca of liberalism, right? If anybody should want, I thought the liberals were all knowing, all seeing, all caring, all encompassing of the illegal immigrants. And so the governor of Texas said, okay, nation's capital, since you won't do anything about it, we'll drop them off with you. And the mayor of Washington, D.C., who is a super liberal, well, she's very upset about that.
The Washington Post reported last week that homeless shelters in D.C. were filling up, and groups are getting overwhelmed by these buses that the governors of Texas and Arizona are sending here full of migrants. How significant is this influx? How many people?
Well, this is a very significant issue. We have for sure called on the federal government to work across state lines to prevent people from really being tricked into getting on buses. We think they're largely asylum seekers who are going to final destinations that are not Washington, D.C. I worked with the White House to make sure that FEMA provided a grant to a local organization that is providing services to folks. But I fear that they're being tricked into nationwide bus trips when their final destinations are places all over the United States of America.
Final destination. That just sounds...
Well, but it's no different than AOC going down and crying at the border, and then when it comes time, how many are staying with you? None.
Yeah.
The liberals want these people in the country because they believe that they will be a generation of reliable Democrat voters. They don't want to deal with them. They don't want to have them in their backyard, but they want them in the country because of their propensity to be a reliable Democrat voter who needs government service.
So Customs and Border Protection released their monthly operational report for
Yes.
June. And in it, it said there were 207,416 encounters at the border. It's the fourth month in a row with more than 200,000 encounters.
Things seem to be going very well down there.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Guys, if you've noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive, it could be low T. Schedule that complete health assessment at the Low T Center. They offer the convenience of monitored, self-inject, at-home testosterone treatments for $155 a month cash pay, or covered by most health insurance. If you don't live near a Low T Center or you need the convenience of at-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy. To get started, only your first 2 visits are in person. LowTCenter.com. Book now. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
You like a company that really stands behind its product? Well, listen to what Diamonds Direct does. Let's say you buy a diamond today for $6,000, but later on you want to trade up to a larger diamond or maybe a different shape. Diamonds Direct will give you $6,600 towards the new diamond. That's a guaranteed 10% appreciation. Let me say it again. You paid $6,000 originally, but Diamonds Direct pays you $6,600 for that same diamond when you upgrade. 10% more for the same diamond. It's Diamonds Direct's 110% upgrade guarantee, and it applies to diamond pendants and diamond stud earrings as well. You get the extra 10% on a $3,000 diamond or a $30,000 diamond. Doesn't matter. No strings attached either. You can get the 110% trade-up value regardless of the cost of the new diamond, and you can upgrade as many times as you like. Now that's peace of mind, and that's a company that believes in its product. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
How much money have you lost in the stock market? You know, there's a way you could stop the bleeding and potentially make up for some of those devastating losses. It's Terry Stacy. Learn how you could get a competitive return on your money right now and receive a 5, 10, or as much as a 35% initial bonus on your investment. That's right. And you'll sleep well knowing your money is protected by some of the top-rated insurance companies in the world. To learn more, call Bill Demery, my retirement guy, at 317-349-5212. Get a competitive return on your investment that beats the bank and receive a 5, 10, or as much as a 35% bonus on your investment. To learn more, call Bill Demery at 317-349-5212. That's 317-349-5212.
Your Indiana adventure is near. Come to Grant County this year.
Discover Masterpiece Quilts at the International Quilters Hall of Fame celebration in Marion, Indiana, July 21st through 23rd. This amazing celebration features world-class exhibits, great workshops, and lectures, and the induction of the 2022 honoree. Get details at showmegrantcounty.com. Grant County, Indiana. Classic cool.
Your Indiana adventure is near. Come to Grant County this year.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Only $49.99 guaranteed. Also, let Mark Patrick Hypnosis destroy unwanted food cravings and lose the weight. Seminars Thursday, July 28th at the Hampton Inn and Suites in Fishers. Weight loss seminar 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 8 to 10 p.m. And Saturday, July 30th at the La Quinta Inn and Suites South in Indianapolis. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 to 4 p.m. Registration begins 30 minutes before seminar.
August 11, returning to Carmel for one night only at the Palladium, the Glenn Miller Orchestra. Tickets on sale now at the Center's box office or online at thecenterpresents.org.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for plenty of advice and fun, brought to you by Miscellaneous. Water, storms, fire, and foundation, life happens. Miscellaneous happens to help you through it.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They want something done. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:30. Angry and heartbroken Uvalde residents at a school board meeting Monday night.
Stand with us or against us, because we ain't going nowhere.
They called for the superintendent to be fired and for school board members to resign nearly 2 months after 19 children and 2 kids were killed in a mass shooting at Robb Elementary School. Talking up the rolling out of the infrastructure bill that President Biden signed into law late last year.
My department has never seen a moment of greater potential than now to build transportation resources that connect everyone safely, efficiently, and affordably.
During a hearing before a House committee, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg called it long overdue and transformative. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Good morning. It is 11:33. You can also watch along on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and put Kendall and Casey WIBC in the search bar. You can also find us live streaming on Facebook and on Twitter. And you've got a comment that you wanted to address?
Well, we do monitor, and we read them from time to time on the people who are in our chat, and we're still coming up with a game plan on how best to make you fine folks feel included in a part of the process, because we do want people to watch us. Why wouldn't you want to, on top of seeing us, why wouldn't you want to also hear us? I mean, it's really the gift that keeps on giving. But we do read them sometimes, and somebody, Laura, said last segment, Rob, I know you don't want to be in politics, but I really hope someday you represent us in Washington.
That's nice.
And while it's very flattering, I would not put it in the category of never, ever, ever, never, ever, never going to happen again. But I would say very unlikely, because one person cannot solve the cavalcade of awfulness that is our representation in society. It's going to take a whole lot of people. It's always really easy to say, boy, wouldn't it be great if that person ran for president? Or boy, wouldn't it be great if that person ran for governor? And yes, it would be if great people step up and are part of the process. The thing we have at our disposal that a lot of people don't is we have a gigantic platform to influence other people to be a part of the process. And a big part of what we've seen in terms of ideologically people waking up to the Republican Party in this state and what they've done and being willing to walk away and either vote for third parties or not vote for them is because of this platform. And that is how you're going to ultimately fix the problem, is huge swaths of people every single year willing to raise their hand, whether it's school board races, city council races, state house races, whatever, and doing that. And that is our role. I'm more convinced than ever that is our role to play in this rather than as an elected person.
You're more important here than there.
Well, I'm important wherever I would be, Casey. I mean, let's not look, it's for someone of my vast mental capacity and keen intellect, it is very hard to have so many things to offer society and have to. Oh, it's okay. You can laugh at that. That's really funny.
I can only clone you.
You can laugh at that. It's really funny to decide where my talents would best be used. But when I see things like, okay, so, and we were going to talk about this anyway, the Jeff Moore event that I'm speaking at,
right,
the fundraiser that he's got going on the 27th, sold out, which is great. And now they've said that people who have been the event, the venue said, hey, the response was so great, we'll offer 10 more tickets. I've got the info pinned up at my @Robin Kendall Twitter feed. Libertarian fundraisers are selling out now. As someone who's followed politics in the state for a long time, never happened before. Doesn't happen. It's happening now. And Jeff's a phenomenal guy. He would be a great Secretary of State. We've talked about why I support him. But let's face it, we play a big role in that. Not to say that Jeff Moore isn't charming and charismatic and wonderful, but the fact that the word is getting out about these people, which we've talked about that being the key to making change, is having viable third parties. We see that, I see that, and say, that's way too valuable. It's gonna take people that hear our voices to get involved on a large scale to make a difference.
He's Rob Kendall. My name is Casey Daniels, and let's get to our daily word salad, can we?
Oh, perfect.
Are you getting hungry?
Oh, phenomenal. I think that's great.
Getting hungry? Time for something
fabulous
to chew on. Kamala Harris has compared the Supreme Court abortion ruling to slavery, saying that they're claiming ownership over human bodies.
You know, anytime you compare anything to, if you're going to compare something to slavery or Hitler, okay, life advice for everyone out there. If you are pondering, comparing something to someone or something to slavery or Hitler, you better take a long pause on that one and decide, is that really the avenue to go down? Because about 99% of the time, that ain't going to work.
She was speaking at the NAACP's 113th convention. She blasted many of them as so-called leaders. And she went on to say some other gobbledygook stuff. I'm not going to bore you with it.
Thank you.
But she did say that at one point that they took away a constitutional right. And, you know, during the commercial break, I walked right over there where we have a copy of the Constitution. And I was looking for where it says in there that abortion is a constitutional right.
And you found it somewhere.
No, I didn't, Rob. I couldn't find it. Am I not looking in the right place?
No, and that print's really small over there, so I understand if it was hard to read, but you could read it in size 72 font and you still wouldn't find it because it doesn't exist. And the level of ridiculousness from the Democrats on this abortion, it keeps exceeding itself by the day. And so this little clip of audio here we have from Kamala, she's trying to say that supporting abortion from conception to live birth does not call on you to abandon your values, your faith, your belief. Take a listen.
It's important to note that to support a woman's ability, not her government, but her, to make that decision does not require anyone to abandon their faith or their beliefs.
Okay.
Now, this is the one that always, the sign that always makes me the most upset is the no uterus, no opinion sign. I took sex ed. I'm mildly familiar with how the conception process works. I believe, Casey, the man is involved in the conception process. And as such, as a man, if I'm involved in something, and especially when we're talking about life and death, because, well, the Democrats don't want you to hear it this way, but it's what happens. When we're talking about the sucking the brains out of a defenseless fetus, I think I have a say in it. I think I have an opinion. If I'm part of the life equation, then I should be able to be a part of the killing equation. Is that unreasonable?
No.
You're a woman.
Yeah. Yes, thank you for noticing.
Yeah, problem. I assumed your gender. Sorry.
No, it takes two.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
From,
X and Y.
From one bizarro lunatic to another, let's talk about Mayor Pete for a second, shall we? Your former neighbor up there in South Bend.
Can we? You know, he was in the 40 under 40 class.
Oh.
With the associate.
No kidding.
Yeah. And so.
Like, did they go to a dinner together or something?
Yeah, chicken dinner.
No kidding.
Yeah.
How long ago was this?
Rubber chicken dinner. 8 years ago.
Wow.
7 years ago.
So this was back when he was mayor of South Bend.
Yeah.
Well, your pal did a lot better than Buttigieg did. He's done a lot more for society.
Well, he's no longer anybody in the, state's neighbor.
Right.
Because now he lives in Michigan, and he's still thinking that we need to buy electric vehicles.
Okay, real quick, time out on this before we play this clip of him ranting about why high gas prices are good. There's something, and I can say this as arguably the most successful local elected official in Indiana state history, when you factor in the tax cuts and the increased in assessed value in the community and the infrastructure. Look, I don't want to bore you with all the bragging.
All
we'd
of
be
your
here,
successes.
Be here forever. But
right.
I think I can say this. I did that because I said, I have an obligation to this town that I've spent my life in. And I made a deal with myself that barring some totally unforeseen circumstance, I was going to spend the rest of my life there because the changes I was making to this town, I had an obligation to be there, right?
Yeah.
Say you don't take the first train out of town,
right?
Because you're making life-altering decisions as an elected official. Something really rubs me the wrong way. That within a couple of years of this guy being mayor for 8 years, that he just says, "Well,
I'm out.
Adios."
I've got a lot of thoughts about this.
Yes, please.
You know I do, because I was texting you all weekend long.
Yes.
You know, there was no road to the White House for Pete Buttigieg in Indiana.
Right.
He's a Democrat.
You're convinced he moved to Michigan because it
for
makes
a higher play, a longer play,
more viable. Yes.
Yeah. I think they're making a Democratic compound. You know, Gretchen Whitmer has a place in Traverse City.
Now
he lives in Traverse City. Traverse City is the county that there was all the accusations about the voting machines.
Right. Now, the problem is you cannot have a vice president and president from the same state.
Mm-hmm.
So they got an issue, and one of them is going to have to decide who goes first if indeed Biden doesn't run again.
Well, there's also Debbie Stabenow, I believe, is going to be up for re-election.
It's true. He could run for governor, potentially, if she runs for president.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think it's a long-term play, and he's, saying that they want to be closer to the parents. I'm sure that's a side benefit that they're getting.
Right,
because it's a political charge.
Well, because correct me if I'm wrong, and you're far more familiar with that area than I am. Because they said, well, we want to be near his husband's parents, which is fine.
Yeah,
but it's not like the trip from South Bend to where they live is some 9-hour trip.
Traverse City.
Right.
No, that was probably about 4 hour.
Yeah. Okay. So, people are entitled to do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
You can move freely. You have freedom of association. He can do whatever he wants. I'm just saying, when you run a city for 8 years and then in a short time later, you're not living there, you have an obligation to live in the cesspool that you created. And that's just one former recovering local government official's opinion. But here's Pete Buttigieg, despite the fact that no one can afford an electric vehicle, now saying, hey, gas being more expensive, not really so bad, because now the gas is so expensive that it's beginning to level out with the price of an electric vehicle. This is some great logic here. Take a listen.
We're for cutting the cost of electric vehicles, because when you have an electric vehicle, then you're also going to be able to save on gas, but you got to be able to afford it in the first place. Right. Now, we're actually starting to see on some models the costs come to where even if your car payment's a little higher, your gas payment will be a little lower and you come out ahead. But the prices still need to come down for most Americans to be able to get in an EV.
Didn't we do the math on this?
Yes.
How long it would take?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember?
Years. It was like 35 years.
A study from MIT found that the battery and fuel production when making EVs creates higher emissions than gas-powered vehicles.
The left's obsession with green is a convoluted assembly of stupid that can only be done by the left in this country. So for those of you who always get mad that I'm mean to the Republicans, that should about cover us for today on the Democrats.
Assembly of stupid. That tickled me. I like that. He's Rob Kendall. My name is Casey Daniels. It's 93 WIBC.
This is Ryan again, owner of Plumbing, Heating, Paramedics, your trained comfort specialist. Buying a new furnace or AC unit is a big decision. That's why we recommend getting 3 quotes. Just make sure we are one of them. We offer our PHP guarantee, which means if I can't beat a competitor's price by 10%, then I will give you $100. Dad always said, do quality work and serve every customer better than your competition. So let our family serve you. Visit saving10%.com, and remember, it's hard to stop a train.
The one thing I never leave home without, my AAA membership. Give you a couple examples why. Got to work one day, my battery died. AAA was here within 45 minutes, put a brand new battery in my truck, and I was on my way. Another time I was running late for work, went out to my driveway, my tire was flat. I didn't have time to change it, so I took my wife's car. AAA came out to my house, changed my flat tire for me. Whether it's a flat tire, a dead battery, you run out of gas, you lock your keys in your car, AAA is there for you 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and no matter where your travels will take you. Do you really want to change a flat tire out on the side of the road with cars and trucks zooming by 75 miles per hour? I know I don't.
To get your AAA membership, visit AAA.com or call 844-GO-AAA-GO or stop by your local AAA office. And don't forget to ask about complimentary travel planning and great insurance rates, auto, home, life, and more, because you don't have to be stuck on the side of the road to get assistance from AAA.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, above your eyes, below your eyes, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You've visited urgent care over and over again, and it's always the same thing. Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and nasal sprays. But the sinus infections keep coming back. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty. Imagine the relief of not having to deal with your sinus infections anymore. Set an appointment today with Indianapolis Sinus Center and find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. The housing market is starting to cool and mortgage interest rates have come down. Now is the perfect time to get into the home of your dreams. If you've been thinking about buying a home, let's talk. We can answer all of your questions and get you pre-approved the day you call in. And with our 10-day closing guarantee, your offer is sure to stand out. Learn more and get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com. Home of the 10-day closing guarantee. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Mark loves summers in Indy, but he hates to paint, so he called Rhino Shield.
It's a two-story home built in 1992. Around 2001, looking at needing to paint, I heard a radio ad, with Rhino Shield, you won't have to paint again for another 25 years.
That's because Rhino Shield's not paint, it's better.
They're very professional. We had everything done. Everything that would typically be painted on a house was done, and it was very fast.
All right, Indy, get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 10% off the regular price.
It was done in 2001 and still going strong. From what I've seen on our home, they can easily offer a 25-year guarantee and not worry about it.
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Don't paint. Don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Here's Terry Stacy to tell you what's going on with WIBC.
Head to WIBC.com and take our Get to Know the 2022 Indiana State Fair quiz, and you'll be entered to win a family 4-pack of tickets. Head to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see the Glenn Miller Orchestra at the Palladium in Carmel. Remember to follow WIBC on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to stay up to date on news, weather, and traffic.
Grab more info online at WIBC.com.
Tune in this weekend for Everyday Wealth with Soledad O'Brien and Gene Chatsky, presented by Edelman Financial Engines. For airtimes, visit everydaywealth.com.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. And Rob, something you wanted to mention?
Well, I expect it from the audience, but not from our bosses. But whatever.
What'd you do?
Well, it's the thing, where we get a just immediate response from somebody if you say something that is mildly incorrect. You try talking for 3 hours every day and not misspeak on something for 3 hours. But thankfully, our boss, hi, Matt, was all over this.
Well, we were talking about Pete Buttigieg and Gretchen Whitmer both up in Michigan.
Right. And I said you can't. I should have said you shouldn't elect two people from the same state. While technically you can, you shouldn't. And I guess this will be very valuable because now we can do Civics 101. I didn't know we were going to need to go into this today, but I want to get a good review when I leave the studio here.
Part of your job is to, inform.
Right. So you can technically vote for two people from the same state. Why you shouldn't is that electors are not allowed to vote because you technically vote for the president and vice president separately in terms of the electoral college. So let's say you had a super close election that came down to, 20 electoral votes, and I'm just making up this here. Let's say both people were from Texas. The Texas delegation could cast their vote for the president from Texas, and he or she would win.
Mm-hmm.
However, they could not cast their vote for also if the vice president was from Texas, which would mean the vice president would not win. So I should have used the word shouldn't. You technically could.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I checked all of my boxes here today and everyone is happy because ultimately now we have Civics 101. So Obama, almost every recent election other than Bush 2000, you could have had somebody from the same state and it would have been fine. But Bush would have been totally screwed if Cheney had been from Texas, which he was for a long time, instead of Wyoming. So all settled. Hopefully that clarified everything.
He's Rob Kendall. You can find him on Twitter at Rob M.
Hi,
Kendall. And I'm on Twitter as well, Casey Daniels 317. Toys R Us making a big comeback, huh? Are they bringing the giraffe with them? They're going to be in Macy's stores over the next few months and possibly ramping up even more for the holiday season.
Yes.
They're going
I like this.
Yeah, you do?
Well, as a child of the 80s and 90s, and who fondly remembers the Toys R Us on 38th Street, back when it was reasonably safe to venture out down 38th Street, when Lafayette Square Mall was still somewhat inhabitable, and there were all sorts of restaurants, and there was still, I believe, a Children's Palace was over there as well. Many, many fond memories of parading through the large Toys R Us store on 38th Street, which now I believe is a math and science academy of some sort or something like that. And now these are not going to be gigantic Toys R Us stores. They're going to be inside the Macy's stores, are my understanding.
Right. So they're going to be in about 400 different Macy's, and they're starting off with about 1,000 square feet for smaller locations, and then some of the bigger flagship Macy's stores are going to have about 10,000 square feet.
Which I think that was part of the problem with Toys R Us, which was it was this giganto toy store, and as the internet became more prevalent, people stopped doing their shopping in person. You know, that's actually one of the things that's kind of gone by the wayside, Casey, if you think about it, is the thrill of the hunt for the toy of the year during Christmas season.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you remember, your daughter is young enough that the internet was around, but yet her early childhood, it was not nearly as prevalent as it is today.
Yeah.
Where you would have to go sometimes to 3, 4, 5 local toy store establishments to try to find Tickle Me Elmo or whatever the toy du jour of the year was. And with the internet, while there's probably a premium on toys that are more in stock, it's not like you can't find it anymore.
And great fun for the kids to walk around the toy store.
Yes.
But I think now, the state that we're in, everybody is so much more aware of the germs they possess within their body and on their fingers that I don't know, having the kids walk around and touch every single thing in this store.
That's how you make a child more healthy. You get them as many germs as possible. Consult your medical professional.
Get them exposed to all of that.
No, there was nothing better than going to the toy store as a kid. Fondly remember the Toys R Us on 38th Street. Used to go in there all the time. They had the starting lineup, baseball and basketball and football action figures that I used to get there. And I think this is great. A little nostalgia coming back. We need more nostalgia in society.
All right. Thanks, Rob. Good job today. Kevin, excellent work. We appreciate you. And it's Kendall and Casey. Tony Katz is up next. Thank you so much for listening today, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Hey, how would you live your life if you could wake up each morning knowing there was enough money coming in to not only cover your basic needs, but also your goals and dreams as well?
The mission at the Singer Financial Group is that they want to work with people who expect their relationship to be transformational rather than transactional. If that's what you're looking for, you should connect with the Singer Financial Group. 317-852-9153. That's 317-852-9153. Or go to singerfinancialgroup.com. Schedule a discovery meeting and see how the retirement income money map planning process could transform your life. 317-852-9153.
Investment advisory services offered through registered investment advisors Howard Bailey Securities, LLC, and AE Wealth Management, LLC. Working with Singer Financial cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get internet and security for just $60 a month when you add mobile and save $480 your first year. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Limited time offer, restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. New Comcast Business 250 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. 2-year agreement required. Equipment installation, taxes, and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep all services for 12 months to receive discount. Comcast Business Mobile utilizes the network with the most Root Metrics 5G data reliability wins in 2H 2021. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
Being present and in the moment for family activities was impossible because Will Burt was so focused on the constant pain in his leg.
My wife likes to take walks. I always kind of dreaded going on walks because they hurt. The boys both play baseball. I coach their teams. I was going to do them and be in pain and be uncomfortable and kind of sacrifice my own health.
An old Achilles injury left Will coping with agonizing pain until he discovered the natural biologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No surgery or steroids. The procedure took place in the office, and Will walked right out.
I feel great. There's no pain. There's no tenderness.
Patients like Will are feeling amazing and living their best lives.
Ironically, just got off the golf course today, so I think that's a good telltale sign that the Achilles is feeling better.
Don't be in pain another day. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 463-235-7160. That's 463-235-7160. In Eagle Creek and Greenwood, 463-235-7160.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today.
At 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, our comfort specialist can handle any AC repair. Call 855-1-HOUR for $50 off your repair or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time, or you don't pay time.
Terms and conditions may apply. Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub.
Ah, Royal Spa.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up, he had no police training, but